Hello and welcome inside the XL Energy Center here in St. Paul, Minnesota for the presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of the 2017-2018 NCAA Men's Ice Hockey National Championship game. Tonight, squaring off against each other, number 1 seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish against the number 3 seeded Minnesota-Duluth Bulldogs. I'm Alex Drain, joined by Lucas Vargas. Lucas, what are you looking for in this matchup? Pour it all on the line.
Well, first of all, it's a great crowd here that we have in the hockey state of the United States. And I'm really interested to see the contrast of styles. Notre Dame much more methodical, and it's going to be an interesting clash of both those styles. Obviously, two great goalies here behind net. I think whoever scores first has got a great chance to come away with the national championship.
Well, we were here just a couple nights ago when Michigan squared off against Notre Dame and Duluth squared off against Ohio State. The Bulldogs defeated the Buckeyes 2-1. They scored two very early goals in that one. The Notre Dame-Michigan game was a bit of a flip script. Notre Dame actually fell down early. They came back to lead 3-2, and then they actually blew the lead. Michigan tied it, and then for the fifth straight game, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish scored with either 30 seconds left in regulation or in overtime to win the game. They have been the cardiac kids the last 5 games. So that's something to watch. But Duluth is a team that doesn't blow leads.
No, they don't, and really neither does Notre Dame, but both teams great at playing with a lead. You do have to commend Notre Dame for their ability to play well late in games, too. One of the stats that they bring to the table is that they are outscoring teams by 31 combined goals in second, third, and overtime this season. So really good at playing late in the game. If they get behind, they're not going to panic, and we saw that against Michigan. Falling behind 2-0 early, but still able to respond.
And this is kind of an interesting matchup because both of these teams made the Frozen Four a year ago. Notre Dame returned a lot of the same talent. They've been on a team on a mission all season long, 8 weeks as consensus number 1, several others as number 1 in one pool or another. Duluth, on the other hand, lost a ton of talent from that team last year, but yet a lot of young players have stepped up. They've went on quite a run here in the tournament to make this championship game, and it is a loud crowd here, a lot of Duluth fans.
Duluth has the crowd behind them for sure, and like you said, really young Duluth team, but the young puppies are very talented, and you know they do have to bring some experience back. It all starts for them with some seniors that do have, you know, some experience. 6 seniors, 4 NCAA tournament appearances for them during their careers, and their second final Frozen Four, like you mentioned. Also, you do have to commend their ability to really respond late in the year. A lot of wins, 10 of their last 13.
Absolutely. This is going to be a really intriguing matchup here tonight between Duluth and Notre Dame. The opening faceoff is won by the Bulldogs, and it's an interesting contrast to styles. Notre Dame plays very slow. Duluth played very fast. And Duluth scored 2 goals within the first 3 minutes and 10 seconds against Ohio State. We'll see how it begins as the puck is now in the Notre Dame end. Defensemen just kind of passing it between each other. A little early rush by Duluth, who are going to be aggressive on the forecheck. They lean so heavily on that very steady defense that they're allowed to take chances offensively as Notre Dame chips it on in. Colin Tyson follows it after it on that first line. Now here's the big opportunity. A shot locked down in front by Scott Perinovich, the very talented defenseman who was the NCHC Rookie of the Year, also College Hockey News' National Rookie of the Year. And he's had some really good games in this tournament. Here's a play to the middle for the Bulldogs, right out in front of Morrison, and a shot. Oh, just saved by Cale Morris. That was a good-looking chance there for the Bulldogs. An opportunity created for Riley Tufte in front of the net. Now it goes into the left side corner in the Notre Dame end, and a shot goes quickly in, deflects off of the pad of Morris. That shot, number 3, Mikey Anderson, taking it from the right point. Home crowd. A lot of Duluth fans in attendance. Also a lot of North Dakota fans in attendance. Just taking in some college hockey, diehard fans of the sport. Bulldogs have pushed the puck now behind the Notre Dame end. where just kind of digging away at it is Parker McKay, swarmed by Gold Domers trying to get it out of their own zone, but just staying with it is McKay, and it stays in the Notre Dame zone. Picked up by Justin Richards. Now back to the point. A shot goes just wide of Morris. Now it goes over into the corner where it is chipped off the boards but held over and then picked up to be brought out by Michael Leary, who circles around behind his own net, skates up the right wing. Now he's going to go across the blue line, the red line, the blue line, now going all the way around Hunter Shepard, the Duluth end, and a quick shot from the short side by the Irish. They do another wraparound try. It's loose in front. Now they go out to the point. A shot by Gross goes just wide of the net. Picked up along the sides, now down low. The Irish really pressing here. Michael Leary still in after it. He was the one who brought the puck all the way end to end, and he is leading the Irish attack now in the own zone. A good Irish forecheck right now, putting pressure on that young defense. Going to rim around the sideboards, now come out to the point, and then it just skips back in. Notre Dame doing a good job of controlling play early on. Goes into the corner. O'Leary's still out there. Puck goes loose in front of the net. Hunter Shepard couldn't find it, nor could the defense. Gross takes a shot in on net. It goes just wide. A wraparound try. Shepard is down. They battle away for it. It's loose. I don't know where it is. Now it comes free for a second. Still controlled by the Irish. Duluth jamming away at it, and now the Bulldogs get it free. They will just dump it on in as it goes in behind the netminder. Kyle Morris goes along the boards, and here comes an aggressive Duluth forecheck. Both teams really pressing early on, and a long shot in from the point is saved by Morris. Goes over off to the side of the corner. Peter Krieger spinning with it. A good hard check applied there by the Irish. So good in their own zone. It's Troy Dello with that good move in the corner, and so far now shots 3-2 in favor of Notre Dame. 16:30 remaining here in this first period. A lot of quick action, no whistles so far. Duluth just waiting to try to set something up, spinning around in their own zone, waiting, holding the puck. Find a nice pass, put it off the boards, where it will then get picked up by the Irish down in their own end, just trying to see what they can to set it up. Ogilvie had it, lost it. Here comes Duluth the other way, skating right into the net. A shot is deflected right in front of Morris. Oh, and it goes through the crease. A good chance created there by Joey Anderson. The aggressive forecheck. Now a nice pass out in front. Jared Thomas had it for a second. Falling down to the ice was one Bulldog before it gets cycled around to the point. Holding it at the line is Scott Perunovich, and he does go off sides. Whistle is called with 15:47 remaining.
Wow, first stoppage of the game, over 4 minutes in, and you can really see the tempo maybe in Duluth's favor a little bit, but I think Notre Dame really responding well to playing fast. You know, Notre Dame used to facing a lot of shots, so they will be ready for an onslaught if it comes. Cale Morris faced 1,238 shots this year, and he made 1,169 saves, so more than capable from the goalie position.
Morris has been so good, a pair of really phenomenal young goaltenders for these two teams, both sophomores, Hunter Shepard and Cal Morris. Morris, obviously, some of his numbers a tad inflated by just the excellent defensive hockey that Notre Dame plays. They just don't give up a lot of odd man rushes or good looks. But here's one for Duluth. Oh, and a pass to the center. And a slot, another try from the point. Rebound, and it's battled around, and Morris hangs on. Just jamming down low in front was Duluth. Plugging away at it, trying to create an opportunity was that second line.
Cale Morris facing the most shots in the country this season. And, you know, he's faced a couple tough ones early on. The Bulldogs really going to put some pressure on the Irish. But, you know, I think earlier in this game we saw the Irish get some good looks too. It's good, but it is, like we talked about, a battle of two really, really good goalies. Neither team is going to budge early.
Contrasting styles is a fair way to put it. Justin Richards is going to take the face-off against Mike O'Leary. A pair of third lines out there, and the Bulldogs win it. We expect them to control the puck quite a bit. They're a good possession team. The Irish are not. That's not really the style that Notre Dame plays. Now dug out from the corner by Parker McKay, an alternate captain for the Bulldogs as it gets cycled around. Held there by Blake Young, and now it's picked up and out of it. Here come the Irish the other way. O'Leary comes up with it. Now gets picked off by Justin Richards. He cycles it back to his defenseman. They pass it around with it and bring it on into the offensive zone. Bounces down by the end boards. Andrew Peak tries to get it out. Here they come the other way. A potential 2-on-2 forming for the Irish. But they're looking to get it changed, so they'll just let O'Leary forecheck with it himself. Swarmed by Duluth defensemen. He resiliently hangs on before he can get some help. to swing it around the boards. It goes into the left corner where there is a scrum. 2 Irish, 2 Bulldogs down there jamming away at it, trying to find a way to get it free. Now it goes along those backboards. Chasing in after it is Nick Wolf, but he can't quite get to it as the Irish are first. But now here comes Duluth the other way. A nice little move, but a takeaway and a shot by Notre Dame goes just wide of the net. Gets pushed out to the point and just a little bit farther than that. Back into the defensive zone where it's picked up by Matt Hellickson. He passes it around. And both teams now just kind of waiting in the process of changing, allowing the Irish to sit in their own zone. Matt Hellickson passing it along with Bobby Nardella. And up they come the other way into the offensive zone. Here comes Notre Dame, and a quick rifle shot goes high and over the top of Hunter Shepard. A nice play to just tip it out, but a big hit applied by Notre Dame on a Duluth player, and he is down, injured, along the right boards in front of his own bench. Can't quite tell the number.
I think it's Kobe Roth, I think.
We'll see. Trainer has already come out and is basically laying on top of him, trying to help him out. As we have a whistle, 13:39 remaining, the under 15 commercial timeout, but we hope he is all right. Looking from, it is number 10, Kobe Roth, a freshman from Warroad, Minnesota, fourth-line winger.
Yeah, he got walloped along the glass very close to his bench, but that is a big hit to take. And I think the officials may be looking it over.
And really the unfortunate thing is that play by him. The hit was applied by Justin Wade, the senior defenseman, and the puck was just along the left sideboard or right sideboard, depending on which angle you're looking at it. And it was just right there, a tad inside the blue line. Kobe Roth comes right up and, feeling the pressure from Wade, pokes it out to make sure to stifle the Irish Rock. A really fine play, but then the boom was lowered by Wade, and he went down hard.
Notre Dame taking a page out of the Duluth book, applying a lot of pressure to keep the puck in their offensive zone. Not going to let Duluth have it easy. Duluth, we saw Duluth apply so much pressure on each of the blue lines against Ohio State. I think Notre Dame may be getting after it as well.
The way that Notre Dame is playing right now really reminds me of the way they played after they tied it at 2, and they came out of the third period against Michigan, and we're pretty much just like, we're going to get the lead and we're going to win. And they've come out with that same aggressiveness, because they didn't start with that aggressiveness against Michigan. It took them a little while to find it, but they're definitely playing a different style than we have seen perhaps at some points in the season from Notre Dame.
Yeah, Notre Dame, the #1 team in the country coming in, expected to be a very great team, always a competitor for the national championship this season. Right here in St. Paul they are, and really playing as the aggressors, not going to let it come to them. They're going to go meet it head on. We've seen 2 teams that really won it so far in this game.
It's really a contrast in terms of youth versus more experience. Notre Dame's got a lot of older players, Malmquist, Ogilvie, juniors, their captain, Jake Evans, and really their best player, a senior. Got a lot of senior defensemen. So this is younger kids against older and more experienced players right off the draw. Duluth controls it into the offensive zone, and a high shot gets blocked way up in the air, comes down, and still held in by Duluth. Scott Perinovich takes a shot from the point, bounces off the end boards. Getting quickly to it are the Irish, trying to find a way to get it out. Jake Evans is able to do so, falling down to the ice. For a split second was Colin Tyson. Lost it, now picked it up. Back come the Bulldogs in their own zone. They collect possession, puck along the right wing boards as it gets swung around. Goes down behind where Jordan Gross has got it, passes it up. And here come the Irish rush the other way, but quickly taken away. It's just shooting across was Jared Thomas. Now here's an opportunity, a big shot from just inside the blue line, an easy save by Cale Morris. Duluth countering with a bit of an attack of their own right there.
And Jared Thomas, we saw what he is capable of yesterday. Had that breakaway goal to start things, well, not really start things off, but very early in the game, 17 minutes about, showing off the speed once again and just causing havoc as much as he can.
Right off the draw to the right of Morris, Duluth wins it, but then quickly fanned on at the point and taken away now. Here come the Irish, held into their own zone before they can successfully break it out, and they bring it up the other way. Dylan Malmquist sends it on in. and battled for down low, and here comes Duluth. So quickly changing. Both these teams good at getting out of their own zone despite the aggressive pressure. Both teams led by their defense, which I think it's fair to say is quite contrasting to Michigan and Ohio State, the teams that got bounced. Both had really star power at center with Lisinski and Marody. These teams led by their great defensemen. As it comes cycled around and goes all the way back into the Duluth end, where the Bulldogs will set up the attack, led by Nick Wolf, the sophomore, the only sophomore starting defenseman for this team. And he gets a nice pass to Parker McKay. McKay, shot goes wide of Morris, and it bounces around the boards up to the point where it's picked up. Matt Anderson, and down behind, battled for, picked up behind the net, and stopping on a dime underneath, Blake Young. He's battled with McKay, hands it off to his partner, McKay, who swings around, tries to go back down low towards Young. Falling down to the ice was Justin Richards, perhaps harassed by the Irish. Crowd wanting a call, and now we got some pushing and shoving as the puck went out of play. It's right in front of the Notre Dame bench. These teams starting to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's clear that the crowd is behind Duluth. No doubt about that. They probably outnumber at least 5-1. But, I mean, Notre Dame, they're going to keep trekking away. They're starting to fall behind in the shot department, 6-2. And, you know, Duluth is not a team that gives up a lot of shots, only about 25.6 a game or so coming into the Frozen Four. So Notre Dame is going to have to take advantage of the opportunities that they do get. Notre Dame does allow quite a few more shots than that on the other side, but still scoreless with 11:24 to go in the game.
So out of the draw, which was in the neutral zone, it's collected and corralled by Notre Dame. They quickly bring it up into the Duluth end, and now there's a big scrum into the left corner where 5 different players were trying to dig it out before. It is the Bulldogs who can control. They get it out of their own zone, but immediately into the hands of the Irish, who try to set up the attack. Jordan Gross, nice pass across. Andrew Peak out there as his defense mate. Now here's a giveaway, and Duluth going to skate right in and shot and score! An absolute bullet from the right side off of sloppy giveaway, which you almost never see the Irish give up that kind of a mistake. Carson Kuhlman, the captain, a senior from Esco, Minnesota, takes it away, skates right in, and delivers an absolute rocket into the back of the net.
Yeah, Carson Coleman absolutely delivers on that goal. A snipe from pretty far out. Not much opposition in front of him, but the senior skating is 166 consecutive game for Minnesota-Duluth. He has now 39 goals on his career. Just an absolute snipe to put the Bulldogs in front, and that's exactly who they want to be. They are 20-7 when they score first, and this is their nation-leading 28th game where they score first this season.
So, for the second straight game, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish are going to have to find a way to come back from not scoring first. And now quickly, Duluth takes it right away. An opportunity, another shot into the glove of Morris. And now some more pushing and shoving right off of that shot from the point by Riley Tufte. And I will say, you know, it was a bad giveaway, and it was a nice shot by Kuhlman, but also not the best save attempt by Cale Morris. He's going to need to be a little bit better than that. There was no screen in front of him, and the shooter was pretty far out of the net.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right there. Just an uncharacteristic let-by by Cale Morris. The Bulldogs really amping up the pressure. Notre Dame has to be careful that they don't get blitzed like Ohio State did.
It's bounced around behind, and before it's given up to Dylan Malmquist, or Cam Morrison rather, to lead the rush. But there's an offsides called as Notre Dame attempts to enter the Duluth zone. We will have a face-off coming on the left side, just outside of the Duluth end. The bands are getting into it. Again, a very Duluth-heavy crowd, even though it's less clear, you know, the defined areas with the Frozen Four matchups the other night. It's very clear who had which sides of the arena tonight. A lot of different colored jerseys all mixed in. Off the draw, it comes into the Duluth zone as the Let's Go Bulldogs chant starts. This is definitely a home game for Duluth. Irish are going to have to dig deep against the opposing crowd. They won 16 straight games earlier in the year, so they know how to win. They've done it a lot, an experienced team. Now here's a quick takeaway by Colin Tyson, who lost it. A nice defensive play there, working from behind by Mikey Anderson. And then quickly Dylan Sandberg and company take it away. Duluth brings it out into the neutral zone. But a very fine defensive play there by the Irish, and they let their captain, Jake Evans, try to lead the attack. His long stretch pass is tipped and allows it to roll all the way back down. Jack Jenkins was the one who got his stick on it and allowed it to deflect into the zone. Mikey Anderson passes it around. Now the long stretch pass up, and here they come the other way. Carson Kuhlman is going to have another chance, and a shot from the point by Jared Thomas went in, deflected off of Cale Morris, and now here's a 3-on-3 opportunity. Can the Irish set something up? And they are offsides, and now some more pushing and shoving going on. Louis Roll, who scored in the semifinal against Ohio State, starting to mix it up with Jordan Gross, an excellent senior defenseman, and one of the few Irish who are actually from the state of Minnesota.
Notre Dame really going to need to work to get their captain, Jake Evans, who did score the game winner last night against Michigan, some looks. The other guy that they want to get involved is Jordan Gross. Neither of those guys, you'd like to see them start to assert themselves. Need something out of the leaders, the senior leaders from this Irish team, to make sure that the Duluth Bulldogs do not settle into their tempo.
So we mentioned kind of different paths to get here. Notre Dame started 3-3. They won 16 straight, had the Big Ten in the bag, basically. Went into a long kind of slump, and they, you can make the case that that was perhaps because that they had nothing to play for. But even since they now have had something to play for, they've won 5 straight, but none have been by a whole lot. This has been a team that somehow just keeps finding ways to beat teams. They beat Penn State very late in the Big Ten semifinals. They beat Ohio State in overtime. They beat Michigan Tech in the first round in overtime. They scored with less than 30 seconds to beat Providence in the regional final, and then against Michigan scoring with 5 seconds to go.
Notre Dame absolutely does not mind to play close games. They are very used to beating teams late in games, and they're really used to winning one goal games as well. We saw that last night. They don't get rattled either, even facing a 2-0 deficit that they saw last night. They are able to collect themselves, and that's a big credit to the leaders that they do have on this team. Guys that we just talked about, Jake Evans and Jordan Gross. Those guys, great leaders, a lot of seniors, and like you said, Notre Dame has been here before. They have on their roster combined 118 NCAA tournament games, so these guys have seen quite a lot of hockey. They're not going to let this 1-goal deficit bother them too much. They just may want to start to settle into their pace, which we saw them really settle into from the second period and onward last night, or 2 nights ago, rather.
So the draw is won by the Irish, and it was just outside the Duluth end. A long shot in from the point, taken by Matt Hellickson easily into the glove of Hunter Shepard, who decides to squeeze it for a faceoff upcoming to the left of Shepard. It is a full-capacity crowd here in St. Paul, Minnesota.
I was going to mention that. A lot more people here today.
Well, it's a little bit tougher in the Frozen Four and the Final Four. When you have 2 games, some people have bought tickets for both, others only for one. There's people coming in, people coming out. This is one game, and a lot of Duluth fans who probably were not here the other night. It's only a 2-hour drive. If you're living in Duluth, the game is on. Your team's going to be in it. You can buy the tickets and make the quick trip up. And here is a shot that is blocked from the point. And Duluth had an opportunity to kind of break out with it. Scott Perunovich was leading the rush. He ended up kind of falling down, getting knocked off his skates. Here comes the Irish the other way as they bring it on up. Those very crisp home whites with the gold dome helmets for the Irish, the maroon jerseys for the Bulldogs. Now bringing it on in, Riley Tufte. He goes down low, or rather Blake Young. Justin Richards along with him. On this third line, Parker McKay as well. Battled for in the corner, Peter Krieger is out there, and Notre Dame finally does try to create a breakout opportunity, and after a slight giveaway, a poke check, does get it free. The Irish go back on down. Here comes Duluth the other way. Back and forth action kind of continuing. Neither team setting up a lot in the offensive zone, but now here's a chance for Notre Dame. They bring it in just past the blue line. The puck is bouncing on ice and skipping on forward before Duluth picks it right back up. This is something we talked about in the Ohio State game. Duluth with their defensemen so strong at stifling any kind of rush, hogging the blue line, making sure no chances are created in that end. But here comes Notre Dame in the other way. A centering pass is tipped aside, And Duluth picks it on up and shoots it back down the ice. A long chase developing for a split second, but able to stifle it was the Irish defense. It was Jared Thomas that had an opportunity. And now a long stretch pass just tipped into the zone. Now come the Bulldogs the other way. Minnesota-Duluth leads 1-0. And now a centering pass right out in front of Cale Morris. This kind of play really seems to be suiting Duluth a little bit more. They're playing really fast. This game is speeding up right now.
Yeah, not a lot of dead pucks whatsoever. Not a lot of face-offs. Doesn't allow Notre Dame to really set up and get the puck to their defensemen.
Shots 8-5 in favor of the Bulldogs. Being dug away in the corner, comes out, and here they come the other way. Chipped on down towards the end line, where it is cycled around. Parker McKay puts it off the boards, but it's picked off by the Irish. They bring it out the other way, but a big hard check applied to Cam Morrison as the Irish top line with Jake Evans and Colin Tyson had let it up for a second. 6:36 remaining in the opening period. The Duluth Bulldogs lead 1-0 over the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Skating into the zone for a split second were the Duluth Bulldogs, but meeting him right there is Matt Hellickson, and he just pushes it out into the neutral zone and forces Duluth to go back behind Hunter Shepard and set the attackers back up. It's been pretty even so far, but one big opportunity has been the difference so far for the Bulldogs as they skate on in with it, putting it off the boards as it goes down into the corner. Battled away, Jade Miller, Billy Exel, and Kobe Roth. That fourth line is back out there. Notre Dame takes it away, and they slowly set up. They're trying to slow the pace down, as it has kind of slowed down really since I said it was playing fast. Scott Perinovich goes into his own zone as it just kind of keeps getting flipped. Trading zones, no great opportunities, but here was an opportunity for a takeaway. Jumping in on the play and a loose puck was Cal Burke, but unable to command much with it. Now here's a giveaway, an opportunity for a 2-on-2 for Notre Dame. Skating right into the zone, a quick shot, and a nice save by Hunter Shepard. Andrew Ogilvie, who scored, I believe, the first goal in the game against Michigan on Thursday night. He took that shot. Shepard with the save. Shepard hasn't had to do a whole lot so far. Just 6 shots on him and no really great quality chances for Notre Dame yet.
Yeah, Shepard not really used to sizable workloads either, but you do have to wonder if the fatigue might set in. Duluth obviously plays such a fast style, and Notre Dame in a very emotionally taxing game on Thursday night. You do wonder if eventually either of those games will catch up to these teams.
It will remain to be seen. Face-off coming to Shepard's right. Taking the draw was Cal Burke. Interesting that they're having him take it before Duluth then wins the draw, and they break it out of their own zone, enter into Notre Dame's zone, take a quick shot in on net. It gets blocked by Notre Dame up into the netting. So a face-off will be coming to Cal Morris's right.
Well, for Duluth,
Or to his left, rather.
Not much happening between the face-offs, but just moving it down into the Notre Dame zone will allow them to continue to pressure the blue line. Cale Morris, keep pressure on him.
That one is bounced into the corner. Oh, and a big hit applied there. Justin Wade, who had already delivered the big hit on Kobe Roth. He has another check, really being physical out there. The puck squirts out in front of Morris, who puts the trapper on it, so we have another face-off coming. Same spot.
Well, that's what Notre Dame wants to do. They want to grind you out, make you work for everything. Not going to be easy against physical defense.
Face-off coming. It is Peter Krieger battling for it, and he is able to win the draw against Jake Evans. Puck goes down behind the Notre Dame net for the Irish are trying to get it free, and here they come the other way. A potential 2-on-2 and a little pass not able to be collected by Colin Tyson, who takes a quick shot in on net. Shepard got a lot of it, but not quite enough, in my opinion, and it barely squirted through the crease. And Notre Dame needs to follow these plays up. They need to have attackers down in front to pick up when there are those kinds of rebounds. We saw some of them against Ohio State. Shepard is vulnerable to giving up the occasional big rebound, but Notre Dame as a defensive team, not really one to put a lot of attackers down in front of the netminder. They control it in their own zone to the Irish. Dennis Gilbert Passes it across to Wade, and long feed. It's deflected up in the air, high down the ice. Battle for Cam Morrison is after it. And that one goes out of play, deflected off of Duluth. And so we will have a face-off staying in the Duluth defensive zone with 4:02 remaining in the first period. Our shots 9-7 in favor of the Bulldogs, with the score 1-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Notre Dame had an opportunity to tie this game up. No backside rebounder to pop it in, though. And, Duluth getting lucky there.
Dalberg once again is the one taking the draw for the second line as opposed to Ogilvie. Puck comes free down in front, or really to the side of Hunter Shepard. Now it's a big takeaway, a quick chance, and the shot is blocked, went off of a Duluth defender, and now it comes, neutral zone goes all the way back down for no icing. Instead, Notre Dame will just pick it up. Jordan Gross, little pass across to Andrew Peak, and his long stretch pass, kind of a dump and chase. Uh-oh, bad giveaway there by the Bulldogs right in front. A tic-tac-toe play. The puck comes free in front of the Duluth net. Another shot goes high and over top. Held in at the point, trying to set something back up. Matt Hellickson, and the puck goes over into the right corner. That was perhaps Notre Dame's best opportunity. It was a bad giveaway by Duluth, and they had a tic-tac-toe opportunity. Just couldn't quite get the perfect shot in on net. And now Duluth dumps and chases after it. Parker McKay is the one who gets there first, and now there's a bad giveaway. Here we go. Notre Dame's got a 3-on-2. Skating in with it are the Irish, leaving it for the trailer, and a big shot goes high and over top of Hunter Shepard. They really slowed that down, and Dawson Cook's snip was just a little bit over top, and now as they come the other way, it is offside, so we will enter the under 5 commercial timeout. 2:51 remaining in the first period. Still 9-7 shots in favor of Duluth. 1-0 the score in favor of Duluth.
Yeah, right now the difference is that Carson Coleman goal. He is skating his 166th consecutive game. Just a remarkable accomplishment. And, the last time that Minnesota-Duluth was in the national championship game here at XL Center, they beat Michigan and they won. So definitely a place they're comfortable playing. Have not actually lost an NCAA tournament game here at XL in St. Paul, Minnesota.
But Duluth did play here for the NCHC Frozen Face-Off, in which they lost a pair of games to Denver and North Dakota in the third-place game, and they almost didn't get in. And they barely squeezed into the tourney over another Minnesota team, the Golden Gophers. They got pushed out, and now, despite that, really a poor showing in the Frozen Face-Off to end their conference tournament. Not really a sexy pick to make the Frozen Four, especially with the way St. Cloud State had been playing. But St. Cloud State was bounced in the first round by the Air Force Falcons. Really opened the path once Duluth won the overtime game over Minnesota State. They were the favorites to get here, and they've been playing with a lot of confidence since then.
No doubt about that. Winners of 10 of their last 13 games. A remarkable finish to the season. We talked about how young the Bulldogs are, but really the youth might have just needed some time to mature and materialize, which it seems like they did. The young pups coming into their own, and they are ready to battle here, doing so early on. 1-0 lead. Another player worth mentioning for Notre Dame playing in his 158th consecutive game is Jordan Gross, the East Region most outstanding player.
And Gross is really an interesting story. He is from Minnesota, from Maple Grove. Not a guy who really had done a whole lot offensively in his first 3 years. He has 36 goals in his career. 10 of them have come this season. He suddenly became an offensive weapon for Notre Dame, the quarterback of their power play unit that was so effective in the game on Thursday, scoring the first big goal to get Notre Dame back in it against Michigan, kickstart the comeback. As play resumes, the draw won by the Bulldogs. They get it into the Notre Dame zone very quickly, but it's dug out by Dennis Gilbert. And it comes into the neutral zone, allowing the Bulldogs to set things up just past center ice, where a long slap shot is sent in the corner, battled for, and now taken away. Here comes Notre Dame the other way, trying to find that big first goal. Cam Morrison has an opportunity to pass across. Dennis Gilbert, a backdoor try. Oh, and they just missed the empty net. There was a tap in on the back door. Gilbert had at the left point. He let one go, and he saw that opportunity, but they just couldn't put it in. Not sure if a stick got in the way or if they just fanned on it, but that might have been their best look of the night. So now Notre Dame starting to create some chances. Duluth needs to tighten up a little bit defensively, and a stick comes down, a stretch pass across. Notre Dame an open shot, and I think just went high over Shepard. Maybe he another good look, and there are now some breakdowns in the Duluth zone. And got to think Scott Sindelin will be talking about that in the first intermission, which will come in under 90 seconds remaining. And now a chance of they score! Wow, we were just talking about bad giveaways by Duluth, but another critical defensive breakdown in the Notre Dame end. Really didn't seem like anything threatening. I was giving some analysis because nothing was occurring, but a quick takeaway by Jared Thomas, and boom, he puts it in. 2-0 Duluth.
Hey, Jared Thomas from the red line spits it through the doggy door along Cale Morris's left pad. I don't know how he squeezed that through. What a shot.
He was from the red line, short side. I mean, Morris is hugging the post. I have no idea how that got through.
Through the doggy door, man. Oh, my gosh.
Looking at the replays, and it was just short side. Must have snuck in between the blocker and the pad, perhaps. Wow. Number 22, Andrew Peak, the second pairing defenseman for the Irish, was the one that was working against Thomas and Carson Coleman when they took it away. And now, with 1:08 remaining in the first period, a huge opportunity for Duluth to enter the first intermission with a big lead. 2-0 on their 10th shot, right after Notre Dame was finally establishing some semblance of an offensive attack, and Duluth started to look like the tighter team. Another really bad mistake from an Irish. And the Let's Go Bulldogs chant sound under 40 seconds remaining. Now here's another try. Duluth coming right in, and a shot. It's deflected high and over top of Cale Morris. Jared Thomas is the one leading it once again. Really aggressive. Nick Swaney down there with Carson Coleman, the captain, plays it up to the point. And rimming back around underneath. Thomas and a pass to the slot, getting pushed down, and now a penalty coming to Notre Dame. Duluth will go to the power play with 17.9 remaining in period number 1.
Well, how about Jared Thomas really elevating his scoring as far as tournament games go for a player of his caliber, a senior. That I believe is only his second career NCAA tournament goal. And how about the most opportune time to score your first 2 tournament goals than in your senior season NCAA Frozen Four?
Well, we talked about Duluth not really being an experienced team, so to speak, a lot of younger players, but senior leadership right there, Jared Thomas. And the draw is won by Notre Dame. They have the number 2 penalty kill in college hockey. This is something they are so good at. But if Duluth can get a goal, they are number 6 in power play percentage. That would be big. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, though. 3 seconds to as it's down behind the Notre Dame end. Dug out by the Irish. They clear it. And with that, the horn sounds, but there will be a full minute 43 of power play time upcoming for the Duluth Bulldogs when we return to the second period of play as the first intermission officially begins. Shots were 10-7 in favor of Duluth. In that period, they lead 2-0 after 1. What were your overall takeaways from that first period of action?
Well, it's interesting to point out that this will be some trends that continue, is that Duluth scoring first, Duluth taking a 2-0 lead in the first period, Notre Dame facing a 2-0 deficit as well. So some trends continue. I think that Duluth is in a great spot right now with the way that they are capable of protecting leads. The second period obviously going to be very huge. You know, they created some chances that they probably could have converted it and did not, and then they made some very tough shots like Jared Thomas's. And then Notre Dame on the flip side, I felt like they had more quality opportunities, but were just unable to finish them. You know, you think about the one transition opportunity where it goes off the pad of Hunter Shepard, and there's no one on the backside to tap it in. That's a missed chance. And then later in the period, they run a similar break and find someone on the back post who just misses the tap in. You know, those are two opportunities that Notre Dame has got to be wishing they had back, wondering how long they can keep their luck running after last night. You know, that crazy finish against Michigan, but Duluth does not want to give them the opportunity to even have a game-winning goal like that.
Yeah, they're going to have to dig out of another hole. I'm just astounded at just the mistakes made by the defense, but also Hale Morris, a Hobie Baker finalist, considered the best goaltender in the nation. He has not been tonight. Two bad mistakes. I mean, the first one, it was a good shot, so maybe you can give him credit for that, but that second goal cannot happen.
That second goal, I still have no idea how Jared Thomas fit that through from that angle, and with the position that Cale Morris was in. It's just two uncharacteristic goals that were allowed by him. And, you know, if you're Notre Dame, I do think what you are taking away is that they scored two really tough goals, and we are not going to give them those looks again. And what just happened on the ice was that if this young man at mid-ice would have put it through this hole basically just maybe a couple inches bigger than the actual puck, he would have won a car, and it went in and out. That is brutal.
Oh, man.
That is brutal.
That kind of looks like one of those fair games where the hole isn't quite
that hole does not look the right size. I mean, that was about as money as you could ask for.
I mean, it would have to be literally right. I mean maybe
come
on to the side, but
that was about as good as you could get from that spot on the ice, and he just that young man was robbed of a car.
Yeah. And speaking of fair games, we were down at the Frozen Fest earlier today, and we were doing some fair games. They had that basketball game at
advertising the Final Four, which will be in Minnesota next year.
Yes, we got 2019 Frozen Four or Final Four chapstick.
Oh, great necessity for the winter.
Yeah, and it's been pretty cold.
It's still cold here.
Yeah,
it ain't spring, that's for sure.
And they also had, they had, you could shoot pucks.
We did that. We did some slap shots.
Minnesota Wild sort of things.
We took a picture with the national championship trophy.
Yes, at the Buffalo Wild Wings event. There were a lot of
very corporate event.
A lot of corporate sponsors going on. That was just outside of the stadium here in St. Paul. And yesterday we were down in Minneapolis looking around. Saw U.S. Bank Stadium, which will be the host
of the Final Four.
Of the Final Four next year, was the host of the Super Bowl this year. So it's been really, really good all around.
You know what? Speaking of the Final Four, how about we talk about Notre Dame's last national championship that they actually just won about a week ago? Was that Notre Dame women's basketball defeated Mississippi State in the national championship game after defeating UConn in the semifinal, both off Arike Ogunbowale buzzer beaters, both phenomenal shots. So hats off to her for some very tough looks and some very impressive finishes for Notre Dame's 31st claimed school national championship.
Yeah, they had a really good run to win that women's basketball national title. They've had a good run to get to this point, but they're going to need quite a bit here.
If they want number 32.
Yep, to come back and win this game.
Ooh, the science of hockey.
They've got a lot of good video board entertainment going on.
I want the dad jokes back.
Yeah, that was a fun event.
It's a good one yesterday. Ooh.
Fans have filed out to the concourse, walking around, getting some food. we were treated to a nice media dinner, which apparently the media dinner here at the XL Energy Center is pretty heralded. It was mentioned.
Apparently.
Yeah, it was mentioned in a article that is framed in the dining room. 50 hockey things to do before you die. One of them was to eat in the media dining room at the XL Energy Center. So,
well, good news is that we are not dead yet, and we ate in that dining room. So
check that one off the list.
Check it off the 50 things. I don't know how many of the other 49 we've done, but at least that's one down.
One of the other ones was attend to Frozen Forest. So we've
there
accomplished
you go.
2 in the past.
Two birds
days.
with one
Yep.
stone. Efficient use of that stone.
Yeah. As the college hockey season for 2018 and 2019 is now coming to a close with this game here tonight. It's been a fun season. Michigan, the reason we are here doing this game, eliminated by Notre Dame in that heartbreaker the other night. Ohio State eliminated as well. And these are the last 2 teams standing out of all the 60 teams in college hockey trying to get to this point. 2 teams that are very deserving.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the road that some of these teams took here in the tournament. It was Minnesota-Duluth. They beat Minnesota State Mankato. They beat Air Force, and they beat Ohio State, all by just 1 goal. So really doing a great job of playing tough, playing tight. Notre Dame also in some close ones themselves as they made the final, beating Michigan Tech 4-3 in overtime. They beat Providence 1-0 and Michigan 4-3 on Thursday night. So some tight games that both these teams won. This shows the toughness that they possess, both mentally and physically, to match up with anybody that is in front of them.
Well, as the season comes to a close, you always want to kind of start to look forward into the future. Certainly, I can imagine that no matter what happens tonight, both of these teams are going to have chances to get back to this point next year. Notre Dame perhaps a little bit less so. They will return some players, but they do have a bit more of a veteran core. They're going to lose Jordan Gross and Justin Wade. Those are 2 big losses. Jake Evans as well, but they play good system hockey, so they should be competitive for sure. Not unclear, how many players that Duluth will return out of all these young guys, but they should have their fair shot to get back here as well. Both really good programs that have done quite a bit to get here, and even Michigan and Ohio State perhaps will have good chances to make it back as well. I wonder if any of the college hockey news, any of those types, we'll do a way too early top 25 for the next season. I always enjoy reading those for the basketball and football teams.
Yeah, I mean, and for Notre Dame, what I think it all starts with their coach, right? Jeff Jackson done a phenomenal job at Notre Dame, 13th season. He's led Notre Dame to 4 Frozen Fours in his 2nd national championship game here for the Fighting Irish. And, I mean, really much the same for Minnesota-Duluth, right? Scott Sandelin, in his 18th season, 21 or more wins in 7 of the last 10 years for their program. So both programs in just great shape thanks to the coaching staff. Minnesota-Duluth obviously showcasing so much of their young talent with future NHL potential. Even in this game, Notre Dame, maybe not quite as much NHL talent, but you're right, a lot of system hockey and just a very, very disciplined and technically sound team. And you just see it right from the senior leadership, Jake Evans, Jordan Gross, guys that really show what that program is all about over in South Bend.
The band continues to sound here. Right across from where we are on the other side of the ice. They really cram them in quite well. And, I imagine it is is the same size band, or at least very close to it, that appear in the stadiums, but in an 18,000 seat stadium, they look a lot smaller than they do in a standard college hockey rink, which is where we're used to seeing them. This is a much bigger stadium than these teams play the vast majority of their contests in.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be cool for a lot of these guys to get the opportunity to play at somewhere like Excel. And for a lot of these guys, it will be a place they will visit in their futures as professional hockey players. But even for the ones that do not continue their hockey careers, just what an opportunity to come play in front of such a passionate crowd as well. You know, we talked about how many people are here, and especially if you're a Duluth fan, you know, having this opportunity to come back to the Frozen Four for a second year in a row and to compete for a national championship after last year just making it so far but unable to quite finish the job. This year getting that second opportunity.
Well, speaking of players who will be playing here, hopefully at some point down the line, Nick Swaney, a draft pick of the Minnesota Wild, one of several players on this Duluth team that are starting tonight. Two have been drafted: Dylan Sandberg, Mikey Anderson, Riley Tufte, Joey Anderson, Nick Swaney among those. Not as many on Notre Dame, but it fits into a good system. And it's where their success comes from. Repetition and doing the same thing over and over and over again. And certainly for Duluth, it would be quite an achievement to win a national championship in a year like this where it was not expected. For Notre Dame, definitely, I think, a lot more pressure.
Well, that's the magic of college sports, really, is that outside of maybe football where there's only the 4 spots for the playoff, you know, any team can really make a run at their respective national championship. You know, sports like basketball, any team can get hot. Hockey's the same way, where any team, if you are playing well enough and you get that opportunity to even make the tournament, you know, anything can happen. And I think that's what we've seen out of Minnesota-Duluth. They were always a talented team, and they were given that opportunity, squeaking into the tournament field and just capitalizing on the opportunity that they were given and making it here to St. Paul, their home state. It's been about the best case scenario that you can ask for if you're a Bulldog fan.
It's been a magical ride for Duluth to get to this point. And again, you know, for Notre Dame, this has been a magical season. It has been a year where they came back and I really felt they had unfinished business. They were highly ranked all season long, really. If they are to come up short, that'd be quite the disappointment. So they need to try to dig deep and find a way to seal the deal tonight.
And Notre Dame winning both the Big Ten regular season and tournament championships. They would love to add a third championship to this season. It's a list of accomplishments, but it's going to start by killing a power play and crawling back into this game. You know, they're definitely capable. We saw them do it just a couple of nights ago. This 2-0 deficit is definitely not enough for Duluth to feel comfortable. Notre Dame not out of this game at all. And like we talked about, outscoring opponents by 31 goals this year in the second period, third period, and overtime combined. It's a team that is going to be plenty capable of crawling back into this game. They're going to grind you out, and they're going to make Duluth continue to work for the last 40 minutes of regulation hockey. Don't expect the Fighting Irish to go away at all.
Well, I always say that a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in sports. It is one that gets blown quite frequently, and Michigan was unable to protect it 2 nights ago. And we look at the preseason poll, just kind of give a sense of, you know, what the expectations were for these respective teams. Notre Dame was in the top 8. Duluth was a little bit lower at 11. But they were teams that were considered on the radar in a lot of ways. Interesting to note that Ohio State was just outside, and Michigan was only getting a few sympathy votes towards the bottom. So it's...
Well, in Minnesota, the host of the Frozen Four,
yeah, they
ranked very highly.
They were a team that had a lot of talent. Casey Middlestat, unable to put it together, and they've made a coaching change. They have hired the coach from St. Cloud State.
Phenomenal season for them.
Yep, and he's coming on over, and they're hoping that that coaching change can make them more competitive in the upcoming season. Certainly a lot of disappointment. Also, Wisconsin was quite a disappointment. They were actually tied with Minnesota-Duluth entering this season, the preseason poll. They were unable to even make the tournament at all, didn't even get home ice advantage in the Big Ten tournament. So,
well, Wisconsin was a team that I got to see play really early in the year, around November, on the road when Michigan went to Madison, and that team looked really, really good. And I feel like they were one of those teams that maybe peaked too early.
Yeah, they also had issues where their coach Tony Granato had to leave to coach the Olympics, but they were starting to really sink before that even happened. So they need to find their game. It was a much tougher Big Ten than one in previous years, with Notre Dame getting a 1 seed, Ohio State getting a 1 seed, Penn State getting a 3 seed, I believe, and Michigan getting a 2 seed, Minnesota just getting squeezed out. And there just wasn't a place for Wisconsin in the end. Teams were better than them, and they had to watch Michigan pass them. So it'll be interesting to watch the Big Ten next year. Notre Dame will be among the favorites. But right now, they've got work to do as we start to get ready. Under 2 minutes remaining in the first intermission.
They do, and like we talked about, 1:43 left on the penalty coming out. But Notre Dame not going to be too rattled by that, considering that they have, you're right, the second best penalty kill in the country at 89.4%. Plenty capable of ensuring that this lead does not inflate itself. Expect the Irish to get back to work. And, this was about the point where they really started to dig into Michigan. Shortly after Michigan scored their first goal in the second period last game.
1 minute remaining in the intermission. The referee's coming back out onto the ice, and here come the players. Notre Dame, first one's out. Duluth set to follow here in just a couple seconds. Once again, shots were 10-7 in favor of Duluth in that first period of play, and they got the 2 goals. Protecting a lead. They're a team that knows how to play with the lead. 52 wins, or now 53 wins. 0 losses and 3 overtime ties in the last 4 years now, since 2015, right? Last 4 years against teams when they have a lead and it enters the third period. So Notre Dame obviously can't be fazed by a silly stat, but I think it's pretty essential for Notre Dame to try to cut this lead in half in this period.
Yeah, that should be the goal. 1 goal at a time, just like against Michigan. And that's what they're going to do. If Minnesota-Duluth commits a penalty, Notre Dame will seize the opportunity. Duluth has got to stay technically sound, and they can't commit any foolish mistakes if they want to see this lead persist.
So we have the opening face-off of the second period of play going on out there. Jake Evans going to take it against Peter Krieger. Top lines for both of these squads, along with their strong defensemen sitting behind him. Krieger and Evans going at it. Falling down to the ice was Krieger, but he was able to win the draw back to Scott Perunovich on the left side of the defense. Passes it over to his defense mate before it goes down into the corner. Notre Dame quickly clears it out, sends it all the way back down the ice, but it was deflected off of a Duluth body, so no icing. Goes down behind Hunter Shepard, touches it, leaves it for a second to Scott Perunovich. Riley Tufte to his left. He plays behind, and now they skate on up with it. Tufte had at the left point, but offsides is called as they attempt to enter the Notre Dame zone. So the faceoff will come to the left, just outside the Notre Dame blue line.
It's a really close call on that particular offsides, but probably not much consequence coming out of it. I don't think that Duluth was really in a position to generate a quality opportunity necessarily off that break.
Perunovich has got it. Passes it over to Riley Tufte. Tufte fires it wide of Cale Morris. And then a clearing attempt by the Irish goes off of a kind of like a stanchion holding up the boards in their own zone. It trickles all the way back down. Remember, Duluth is a team that is still on the power play. They had 1:47 rolling over, and they will bring it on in, trying to get something set up against this very good Notre Dame penalty kill. And the puck is right out in front of Cale Morris, banging away at it, but it gets held under his pads. 40 seconds remaining in the power play, 18:46 remaining in the second period.
Some more crisp passing by Duluth on the break, just showing the future pro talent, stick handling and passing abilities. But Cale Morris doing a good job not to let anything silly go by his pad.
Well, he needs to be a lot better in that first period. A couple of really questionable goals surrendered by Morris, and it's key for Notre Dame to try to kill off this penalty, keep the deficit manageable. Puck comes right out in front, driving hard, and another shot there by Anderson. Goes down below, skating around with it, picking it up. Carson Kuhlman gives it out to the point. Sandberg back to Kuhlman. He toe drags to the middle, pass down low, pass across the crease, looking for the backdoor opening. Unable to connect, but Bulldogs continue to hold it. This good power play unit skating right in with it. And a shot, nice save by Morris, goes up against the boards. Dug out in the corner, falling down. And a penalty is upcoming. Hunter Shepard going to the bench for the extra attackers. Another power play coming up for Duluth. A puck in front, the battle around, a rebound try. They spinorama with it, and it goes through the crease. So coming out of the box, back to even strength is Notre Dame, but they will be immediately shorthanded. The empty net for Duluth. Notre Dame will be called for the penalty the moment they touch, but for this instance in time, Duluth continuing to control, milking whatever they can out of this extra attacker 6-on-5 play until Notre Dame touches up. Perenovich dragging through the neutral zone into the offensive zone, but he's inside a little bit too quickly. Offside's called, and with it, the official whistle, the power play upcoming.
This could be a dangerous chance for Duluth if they're able to capitalize, but Notre Dame, obviously, we talked about how great of a penalty kill team they are. This isn't the kind of mistake that you need to be making, especially if you're Jordan Gross, such an integral part of the Fighting Irish team to help your team get back into this game.
That is a bad penalty. Gross just kind of hacks at Carson Kuhlman down behind the net. That is one that he's got to know better than to do that, especially as a senior leader on this team. It's been quite staggering. The meltdown of the Irish defense right now, and their just star netminder really failing them so far as Duluth holds it in. Now pass across the shot. Oh, and a nice save by Morris. Oh, and it just trickles wide of the net as they try to set something up on the power play. Duluth continues to control it. 1:36 remaining in power play time, held off to the point. Now they go down low. That's a really effective play. They've got McKay in the middle and snipers on both wings. They go up to the point, across to Perenovich on the left side as he skates backwards towards the middle, sending it across to one-time shot by McKay. Oh, boy. And that one went in to a glove of Morris, falling down to try to block it. Was Irish defenseman number 20, Justin Wade.
Parker McKay, a big slap shot. He had the overtime goal that beat Minnesota State prior to Minnesota-Duluth making the Frozen Four. Cale Morris going to have to be big here.
He's made a couple big saves so far. Face-off coming up between these two teams to the left of Morris, and it's one back. That's always so key in setting up a good power play, winning the draws. Duluth is doing that right now. A stick lift down low allows Dylan Sandberg to go in after it. The defenseman stepping up as Notre Dame finally gets to it, and their clear goes right there. And once again, something we saw against Michigan in the Frozen Four. So quick to get to it.
Don't play around with it. They just clear it and reestablish their defense.
Anderson brings it on in. Once again, the defensemen being the ones to lead the rush to step up for Duluth. But another quick clear by Notre Dame. Really disciplined right now, not playing around after some good looks for Duluth were surrendered. It's an elite power play against an elite penalty kill. Two really good units going up against each other. There's been some moments where Notre Dame's penalty kill has come up big, but also some good looks for Duluth. Here comes Perenovich bringing it on in with it. He gets muscled to the ice, but he had the puck, so it's a legal play. Now out to the point, setting it up to a shot to the slot. Oh, and a nice kick save by Morris. And now driving hard and banging right into him was Perenovich. And coming over to push and shove after the play, Jake Evans, the captain, protecting his goalie. Really aggressive-looking play from Perenovich to charge hard, looking for a potential rebound.
Well, the passing so crisp really able to help Duluth generate these good looks. But you do have to credit Notre Dame, Cale Morris holding strong, and Notre Dame really trying to work through their second penalty kill of the period. They're going to need to.
Well, the Irish are a really good penalty killing team, but it also helps when you don't have a good power play against you. That was the case with Michigan, where it was just lost really one-sided. This time, they're given a much tougher task, and you can see very clearly that Duluth is finding good chances with their great passing as they win the draw, which has continued to haunt Notre Dame so far, the root of some of these problems. And chances for Duluth on the power play up to the point. Perunovic chips it back down. The Irish are going to clear it or attempt to clear it. They do get Gross out of the box, so they kill off those two penalties. Absolutely essential if they want to try to make a comeback, but they need to start finding some 5-on-5 chances of their own, which they seemed like they were beginning to before Duluth scored that goal. And now we got a penalty upcoming. This one's going against the Bulldogs. It's going to be hooking, I believe. And it looks like it's probably going to be on heading over to the box. Yeah, it'll be number 6, Louis Roll, I believe. Or perhaps 5, Wolf. Tough to tell the number. Now it is number 5, Nick Wolf.
And that's the silly mistake that Duluth could not commit. You know, Notre Dame, this is how they got back in it against Michigan. Michigan commits some penalties that Notre Dame able to take advantage of.
Notre Dame sniped it in. We'll see what they can do. They're going to try to find traffic, I imagine, in front of Shepard. That was something they did against Hayden Levine in Michigan on Thursday night. Gross has got it. He skates off the face-off win. Once again, very crucial to setting up your power play, and they're doing it here. Gross at the right point. He skates in, and a shot is blocked. Once again, they are trying to establish that screen, create traffic and chaos. Here's a big try, and a shot goes just wide of Shepard. It bounces off those boards, which is something we talked about in the game the other day. Really bouncy boards as Duluth's forecheck comes right in and shot in on Morris. And that's really big for Duluth's penalty kill to get an opposing face-off coming in the opposite end on the penalty kill.
Yeah, anything that burns some extra time off, but Notre Dame doing a good job of kind of getting to their spots and setting up the power play how they would like to get some screens going in front of the goalie, Hunter Shepard, and allow the defense to get some long-range shots off, but Notre Dame very capable and comfortable taking those kind of shots in the power play.
Being kicked out of the face-off circle was Cal Burke, who apparently has been moved to center in this game. He's normally a winger, but for some reason he is playing in the face-off circle in this game. Duluth wins the draw, which is huge for killing off more of that time. And they do precisely what they should do. They put it down in the offensive zone corner and just allow themselves to just scrum away at it, kill off as much time as possible before the Irish can finally pull it free. And now they skate right on in with it. Cal Burke leads the rush, and it goes down into the corner, getting dug around before it is then picked up by Perunovic, but he was trying to get fancy and lead it out himself, and that creates a giveaway that allows Notre Dame to keep it in, and we'll see if they can get something set up. They're passing around with it. Dylan Malmquist has got it on the left wing boards. He puts it behind, and a slap shot from the point. Nice save by Shepard to get a piece as it deflects up into the netting and out of play. 14-13 remaining in period number 2. 49 seconds left on this Irish power play. Still trailing 2-0 to Duluth.
Yeah, I mean, ideally the Irish can get at least a couple more shots on goal in this power play. I didn't realize the imbalance was at 19-7 in favor of the Bulldogs.
Yep. A lot of shots now. Those power play chances really effective for Duluth in creating opportunities, but Notre Dame wins the draw. So the power play teams have been able to win the draws both ways. But oh boy, another bad mistake. Cam Morrison sending it to the point. Jordan Groves could not corral it, and it goes all the way back down. That'll kill off about 15 more seconds. Come close to doing it for Duluth as we're now under 30 seconds left in the power play. That puck dribbles out in front of Hunter Shepard. Is Notre Dame quick to try to bring it out, but Duluth is right there, and they clear it down. Really, it's just excellent playing right now. The Let's Go Bulldogs chant starts back up as the home team brings it on the defense, trying to prevent a goal, and a shot is blocked in front. There's a rebound. Oh, and it just goes over to the side. Evans had a good look in on net after that cannon shot came from the point. leave it over into the corner. It gets chipped down. Duluth is back to full strength. They kill it off. That one goes off the boards. Oh, and a breakaway opportunity, maybe, but they've got something going on. Maybe a hand pass or perhaps played with a high stick, tough to tell. But a whistle was blown, and coming right out of the box to have an opportunity to try to skate away in on net unevaded, but the whistle sounds. So no Duluth breakaway, and we have the under 15 commercial timeout.
Yeah, rail shot out of a gate going for that puck before it was called dead. You know, Jake Evans in great position on that last shot of the power play that Notre Dame took. And I think that's where Notre Dame can have success is, you know, getting those screens set up and looking for a rebound. They've had some opportunities that they haven't even got their stick on off rebounds. You know, Duluth does a great job blocking shots with their bodies before it even gets to Hunter Shepard. They got to find a rebound opportunity and get a bounce into the back of the net to cut this deficit in half.
The ice crew is out there shoveling and making sure that the ice is all right for these teams to go back out as we have the commercial timeout going on. We've got a interesting graphic on the board. They were asking players how many hockey penalties they could name in a certain period of time, and now we've got the Capital One wallet shuffle where they put the credit card in the wallet, they spin them around, and see if you can keep your concentration. Always some fun games to keep the fans interested. It's definitely been a really great atmosphere and a great environment just walking around the XL Energy Center, seeing all the fans. And I think what I've been most surprised by has been the amount of fans from none of these teams that not just decided to show up, but decided to show up wearing their home allegiances. We've seen Wisconsin jerseys. I saw a Quinnipiac jersey. I've seen North Dakota jerseys. We've seen all different kinds of jerseys in the concourse. Lots of college hockey fans from all over coming in, take in this championship game.
Yeah, very diverse crowd and fan base here in XL Center, but one thing that isn't quite as diverse is the support. Say, a lot of rousing approval for the Duluth squad. A lot of Bulldog fans, at least for tonight.
Now the team's back out of the commercial timeout. We'll get ready to take a face-off just in front of the Duluth blue line. Getting kicked out of the face-off. So now we got a breakaway opportunity for Duluth coming right in, a pass behind and a shot. Oh boy. I don't like that pass decision there from Duluth. It was essentially a 2-on-1, but really more of a breakaway. But feeling a trailer coming from behind him, they decided to leave it back for a backwards pass. Riley Tufte was the trailer coming behind Peter Krieger. Now we got a penalty upcoming. The Bulldogs going back to the box. Man, after a first period that was so quickly played, very few whistles. Now the fourth penalty of the game, all coming really in the last about 8 minutes and change.
This period really starting to slow down and drag on. A lot of stoppages. And Jade Miller, I thought, had a great opportunity. I believe it was him on the other end to just take a shot himself, trying to dump it off. And this penalty, I'm not quite sure after seeing the replay.
It is, the penalty is going to Perunovic.
Not quite sure about that call, but
he kind of undercut the Irish attacker, flipped him up over, and it was a penalty. I'm pretty sure. I think that was a pretty solid call. The home crowd doesn't agree, but perhaps that was going to happen anyway. And a vulgar chant raining down from the crowd. And before it is quickly gotten to by the Bulldogs, they clear it on down. That'll kill off the first 30 seconds of the power play. No shots for Notre Dame just yet. They are really getting outshot 20-8, but here comes the chance. A nice pass across the feet in front. Oh, no, wait, they score. It looked for a second like Hunter Shepard had made the save, but it squeezed through, and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish have cut this lead in half with 12:20 remaining in period number 2. Our score, Duluth 2, Notre Dame 1. It was a great cross-ice feed before another pass in front, and it went just barely through the 5-hole, I think.
It looks like it bounced off the skate of his right foot coming across.
It'll be number 15, Andrew Ogilvie, getting credit in front of Hunter Shepard, but it gets really set up by Cam Morrison. He gets a feed. I mean, it's Evans at the right point, cross ice feed through the slot all the way to the other side to Morrison, and then Morrison passed to the center, tic-tac-toe, and somehow Ogilvie wills it between the legs of Hunter Shepard. But now I believe it did go off his skate, so I think we're going to have an official review coming as two referees step in to the box to take another look at this goal.
Well, it all having really very quick scenario there. You know, Duluth clears it to Cale Morris, and he just kind of tosses it to the side. Teammate comes and collects it, and right back the other way, up and down the ice, and the shot is created. But, you know, that's what we mentioned, is that Notre Dame, if you make an unnecessary penalty against them, eventually it is going to come back to bite. And that is how they beat Michigan, and it's how they have an opportunity to climb back into this game. Should this goal stand, be another power play goal for the Fighting Irish.
But we haven't really seen a great replay. We saw the quick replays initially after the goal was scored, but since the referees have gone into the box, we're not getting to see any replays. ESPN now is going, oh, maybe it's not going to be because of the skate. They are looking like it's going to be reviewed for the offsides, maybe. Seeing if Evans was in too quickly is what they're showing on the ESPN monitor. Coming back out, and it's a good goal. Referees step back out of the box. They signal it good. And that big contingency of Notre Dame fans who have come wearing blue and green jump up and down, wave the rally towels, and hold up signs, the Go Irish signs. They've cut the lead in half. Now we'll see if Duluth starts tightening up, how their response is to adversity. Can they play a little bit cleaner? That was what hurt Michigan, was they immediately then went to a 4-on-4 and allowed another goal within a couple minutes. And now a takeaway by Notre Dame down in the offensive zone. A shot from the point is blocked in front of Hunter Shepard, and it has a big rebound now coming into the middle. Hellickson, a quick shot. That one's blocked, but he still got it on the left side, passes it up to the point, looking for an opportunity. Skating right in a shot. Oh, it's deflected, goes right through the crease. Notre Dame really pressing right now. They're playing with a lot more pep in their step.
A lot more pressure being applied by the Fighting Irish. That goal really lit a spark.
Scott Perunovich is doing a good job of stifling the Irish rush here in the neutral zone, kicking them backwards and forcing them to make a change before they try to set up once more. Now here come the Bulldogs the other way. They pick it out of their own zone and try to send something down. Jared Thomas is the one to clear it out with that second line. But the Irish get quickly to it, and so far with 11 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in period number 2, it is all Irish at the current moment. Let's go Irish, let's go Bulldogs. Chants are dueling right now, and here comes Duluth right in on side. A lot of speed skating around the net, going really kind of end-to-end through the offensive zone with it for a second. Was Krieger, and now it gets taken away. Here come the Irish the other way. A potential 5-on-3, but they decide not to use it as both Duluth players are in the middle. Now an opportunity out in front, and the shot goes just high over Shepard. Takes that big bounce off the boards, and now it goes out towards the point, and it'll be cleared out by Carson Kuhlman. He just gets across center, and now he gets dumped hard down to the ice, and trying to see who that was that dumped him. Looks like it was, again, number 20, Justin Wade, who has been physical all game long. As Sandberg and Anderson hold it in for Duluth in their own zone, trying to get something set up. They just don't really have the same tic-tac-toe coordination. Sandberg falls down, and we got a penalty coming up. Duluth's going to go to the power play. Once again, whistle after whistle after whistle. It's going to be a tripping call coming to the Irish. 9:58 remaining in period number 2. We have the under 10 commercial timeout, and here's a big opportunity for the Bulldogs to stem the tide and flip the momentum.
Yeah, I mean, Notre Dame was really doing a great job of applying constant pressure and starting to kind of dictate this game a little bit. And Duluth able to go on the power play now, see how they're able to capitalize, or if they are, against such a strong penalty kill. But you're right. I think this tempo, it's very choppy right now,
Yep.
really favoring the Fighting Irish in the way that they would rather play this game.
Well, and it's interesting because they do like a slower pace, but out of that power play where they scored the goal to cut it in half, they came out really fast and really aggressive. But now it's going to slow back down for them, being shorthanded. But now they've taken 3 penalties in about the last 10-plus minutes. Not something we're used to seeing for a team like Notre Dame. But I will say the one thing that Irish fans have to be reassured by is how their team has responded, giving up that late goal in the first period, being shorthanded, entering the intermission, and really just nothing was going right at the end of the first. And now they're coming out looking a lot stronger.
Yeah, and Notre Dame, such an experienced team like we discussed. I think that we kind of expected them to be able to bounce back. They weren't just going to get to the stage and fold by any means necessary. Sure, Duluth had a great start, but Notre Dame was not going to let that be the end of the story. And now another goal that they have over an opponent in the second, third, and overtime combined. They do a great job late in games, and that's where this game is going to eventually be won.
And you have to do it one step at a time. They've gotten one back. They need another, but they don't have to right now.
No, by no means necessary. They have a lot of time left, and this is just like how we saw them play against Michigan. They didn't panic when they went down 2-1. They stuck to the way they wanted to play, and they got it to that style of game, and then they went to work. So honoring Sydney Peters for the Humanitarian Award. Congratulations to her. Member of the Minnesota women's hockey team.
A host team in the women's crew. Looks like we've got a review going on.
Might be reviewing the penalty or something.
A couple referees have stepped into the box. Still in the midst of this commercial timeout. The ESPN TV broadcast has returned from commercial. And now the captains for both these squads, Carson Kuhlman and Jake Evans, have come over to have a chat with the referee. Not exactly sure what it is that's going on.
I think the players are also waiting.
Trying to figure it out, where the ESPN feed is just showing us the referees in there, not exactly showing us what it is that they are reviewing. We're not able to obtain that information at the current moment.
I did see them on the screen they were watching, maybe looking at the hit that the penalty was called on. The referee just gestured towards his knees.
The tripping call it is. Maybe a question of the length of the penalty. It says 2 minutes up on the Jumbotron, which yeah, it is just 2 minutes. So it is much like we expected, really.
Very anticlimactic.
Yeah, despite all that reviewing, it is a little bit what we expected going into the box for the Irish. Number 13, Colin Tyson, native of Monroe, Michigan. He will be seated, and it gives the Bulldogs an opportunity to re-extend the 2-goal lead. They win the draw, but not to any of their defensemen. It goes all the way back down the ice, and they'll have to set up. Hunter Shepard comes out from behind his net and taps it gently. Hands it off to Perunovic. Here they come. weaving around the neutral zone. Notre Dame forecheckers. It goes up into the Duluth bench for a split second, so the faceoff will come back into the neutral zone.
Another stoppage of play. Will be face-off near the Ohio State logo.
Yep, they don't take those logos off. They just leave the Frozen Four logo on there. Michigan, Ohio State, Duluth, and Notre Dame logos all displayed prominently on the ice. Goes out to the point. Perunovich has got it. He sends it in down low, and it's held underneath. They try to spin it around and clear it out, and it went up and into the netting. Tough to tell who it was off of. It looks like it was just straight off of Notre Dame, so the faceoff will stay in that end of the ice. Carson Kuhlman in the second power play unit for Duluth going back out there. Trying to set something up so far. 34 seconds killed off the penalty. Good-looking penalty kill so far for Notre Dame. That's what they're good at.
Very characteristic of them, sticking to who they are.
And the draw is one off to the side. Notre Dame, the first ones to get to it, and they just clear it on down where it's going to be picked up there by Anderson. Passes it over, and it gets just tipped to the side. He sends it over to Sandberg. Sandberg will chip it in deep for a dump and chase opportunity, which benefits the Bulldogs' speed. Pass across to the left point. Sandberg sends it through the slot and gets tipped high and over top of Hunter Shepard. Goes over to the other point. Anderson to Sandberg. These two young defensemen will become so good together. Both freshmen playing with a lot of confidence on the second power play unit. 50 seconds remaining here in the power play. A shot from the point, high and rising over top of Cale Morris. Not sure if he really saw it. Duluth does have a screener down in front as it's passed across one point to the other. Stepping in down low, a shot. It's loose in front, battle away, and it just goes wide. Sandberg stepping all the way up to try and bury that rebound. Unable to do so, goes down low. They turn around with it back to the point, and that was a shot. Whoa, and it just goes wide of Morris. He puts the glove down on it for a big save. 19 seconds remaining in the Duluth power play. Looks like Notre Dame might kill this one off. They have to just give a little bit more energy and then get back to even strength.
But Duluth doing a great job using the screener to generate some good shot opportunities. And, you know, one thing that I think Notre Dame has done a good job of most of this game, in fact, is taking away the cutters that Duluth was so dangerous with against Ohio State, you know.
Yeah, Ohio State was not good at taking away the passing lanes.
Duluth did a great job cutting against Ohio State's defense. Notre Dame doing a much better job against the Duluth set offense.
Colin Tyson standing face pressed up against the glass, waiting to get out of the box like a child in a candy store. 10 seconds remaining on the power play as it gets quickly cleared out by Notre Dame off the draw. 5 seconds remaining in the power play. Perunovich plays it over as they kind of bring it in, and the shot goes just wide of Morris. Out of the box is Tyson, and Notre Dame does, in fact, regain control. They bank it off the boards. Nice little play there. Gilbert gets it across to Justin Wade. Falling down behind the play and perhaps shaken up is a Duluth forward trying to get up. That looks like number 17, Blake Young, before Notre Dame now brings the rush into the offensive zone. It goes into the corner. A couple of players digging away at it before it is Anderson getting to it. He digs it out, passes it over to Sandberg, who banks it back to Anderson. Holds it behind his long stretch pass, is intercepted. That was a dangerous giveaway. And now Notre Dame's going to have it into the own zone. Evans a shot, and trying to clear it out was Duluth. They couldn't do so. Held it in the corner where it is quickly checked there for a second by Cam Morrison. And now finally Duluth brings it up. An opportunity. A shot from the point is blocked, and here's a breakaway chance. Notre Dame coming the other way, speeding right into the zone. But a great job there by Sandberg to get back and prevent anything from Cam Morrison, but Notre Dame still has got it. A shot by Nardella from the left point. Goes off the pad there of Shepard. It rolls around over up top to the other side. Held in there. Matt Hellickson goes down low, rims around the boards with it. Off to the side. Nardella picks it up. He skates over to the center. Now he's got it on his forehand. His shot is blocked down in front once again. 5-on-5 hockey being dominated by Notre Dame, something we did not expect. Perhaps Duluth tightening up a little bit. 6:26 remaining in the second period. Our score remains Duluth 2, Notre Dame 1.
Duluth appears to be a little bit slower in this period relative to the first period. You wonder if fatigue might set in.
Not using that speed quite as effectively at this current moment in time. Puck goes all the way back down, played off the boards, and Notre Dame is Johnny on the spot. Once again, it gets rimmed around and stepping right up. Opportunity and a shot through the crease, or just in front of it. Allows Duluth to break out the other way. A zone entry is successful, and just kind of a shot in on net. Goes a little wide of Morris, and now another giveaway by Duluth in the neutral zone, getting over aggressive. A chance to the middle, cutting hard there was Ogilvie. And now it comes back down the other way. Duluth is trying to press it, but Notre Dame is swarming. The defense is everywhere right now for the Irish, creating opportunities, and now skating all the way coast to coast. Gross takes a shot, hits the back side of the net before Duluth picks it back up along the right wing boards, and they chip it all the way back down. Skating in after it, no icing, as Notre Dame picks it up, and the Irish fans boo. They thought that should have been a whistle and a face-off in the offensive zone as it comes all the way back down. The Let's Go Bulldogs chant sounding once more. Matt Hellickson turns around with it, and he passes it over. One little touch pass off to the side, and the Let's Go Irish, Let's Go Bulldogs chants are deafening right now. Getting pushed down in the offensive zone. Where's the Notre Dame attacker? Now it's swung across. Nardella's got it once more, but now it's poked out from behind, trying to skate down on a breakaway perhaps. Was Blake Young. He fell down. The crowd wanted a penalty, none coming. Skating over to the middle. Here come the Irish, trying to bring it into the offensive zone. Played down along the boards, turning around with it, and holding it are the Irish. Pass over to the middle, and a big check. Hello. Applied there by Dennis Gilbert. He is another Notre Dame defender to use his physicality. But once again, really not many chances for Duluth before they can bring it out into the neutral zone, and a long shot in on Morris gets deflected off a Notre Dame body. Doesn't quite hit the netting, so play continues as it's in the left corner. Now a pass over to the middle. Ooh, a nice little touch pass from behind. Tufty with a quick shot in on Morris, and a big check over in the corner. Here comes Notre Dame the other way. 3-on-3 hockey. Carrying it in with it is Evans to Morris, and his shot. Ooh, looking for that backdoor tap in for Tyson. Unable to put it in. Now they hold it around for a defensive shot. That one comes in from the point. Wrestled aside by Hunter Shepard. Here's another try. Oh, with a screener in front. Tyson right there. The puck comes free. It's loose, and we got a penalty or something coming. Maybe the net is dislodged. Trying to see what the call is going to be, but a whistle sounds, and the Irish fans are really booing.
The Irish fans really frustrated. I think that...
Yeah, no penalty coming. So a whistle of some kind was killing play there. 3:36 remaining. We have the under 5 commercial timeout.
Finally, some more free-flowing hockey got going there. A lot more up and down, but Notre Dame really establishing the physicality. A lot of checks, really making Duluth feel their presence, and maybe slightly responsible for Duluth's deterrence of speed in the recent minutes.
3:36 remaining in the period. 23-13 the shots. But even though this is now sped up, the one thing that is a little interesting is that despite the speed up of play, Notre Dame is the one dominating. And they are really aggressive. So that's something we did not expect to see. We thought the speed would benefit Duluth. And now we've got the What Song Do You Want to Hear? Thursday night, it was Sweet Caroline who won. Tonight, it's I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty.
It's not a bad one.
Not a bad one at all.
And neither team looking to back down in this face-off between each other. Just got to love the energy that each team has come out and played with for almost 2 periods.
I think we forgot to note about the Frozen Fan Fest, the live music they had there.
They did.
Should give a salute to that band. They were playing a lot of interesting covers. We heard All Summer Long cover, Kid Rock. We heard a Jump Van Halen cover.
Don't forget the hot air balloons without the balloon.
Yeah, the hot air balloons without the balloons. It was no balloon, just the fire.
Probably the best form of a hot air balloon.
Yeah. I was trying to warm us up out there. It's a little bit warmer today.
It was a little bit.
When we were in downtown Minneapolis, it was 1 degree wind chill. The wind gets in between those tall buildings, and it was just whipping.
It was an experience, man. And for April. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo.
The Twins playing their first couple of home games. Not a whole lot of fans in attendance in this type of weather.
Jeez.
And the teams are going back out there, getting ready for the face-off in the offensive zone. Draw is won by the Irish. Once again, continuing to attack in the offensive zone. The puck is with it along the boards, and you get the sense that if they just keep grinding like this, they're going to score the equalizer sooner rather than later. There's a chance in the slot. Puck comes free, and another try, a shot in on Shepard, is saved. Notre Dame continuing to apply heavy pressure, tapping the stick, and now a try. Oh, and a great save by Shepard. He gets low and blocks it. And now an opportunity for maybe a 3-on-2. Here comes Duluth looking for a cross-ice pass, and his shot is blocked. But now it's loose in front, jamming away at it. Cal Morris has to make the stop. So that was a decent look for Duluth, but not after. Just an absolute great opportunity for Notre Dame, but the youngster Hunter Shepard coming up strong.
Hunter Shepard showing why he's one of the top goalies in the country. Doesn't always see a lot of shots, but when he does, he is going to answer the calling card. Great work.
Really phenomenal play from Hunter Shepard. And unless Duluth changes this pace and gets back on top of the game, they're going to need their sophomore netminder to come up big. Shepard, actually kind of a local kid. I was looking up where some of these Minnesota cities are. He's from Cohasset, not all that far from Duluth, and so a hometown guy. Now there's a puck in front right off the draw, and Morris looks like a kind of a wrestling match down there. About 4 or 5 bodies fell on Morris as the puck came free in front of the net, but he blankets it. Notre Dame now starting to feel a little pressure. Really competitive hockey.
Yeah, I mean, the intensity level has really picked up.
Everything's on the line here tonight. At stake, a second national title for Duluth. For Notre Dame, it is that long-awaited first national title in hockey. From the point, a quick shot in on Morris is an easy save. No screen at all. So we will do the face-off again, 2:45 remaining. We mentioned the other night that they have taken down any of the Wild banners that may exist. I'm not sure how many. They've replaced them with these national championship banners for all the teams that have won. There's no Notre Dame banner, though, as the school is looking for their first championship and maybe to get one.
The Wild Center's all about the Frozen Four this weekend.
Yep, not really a whole lot about their team. They still have some good Minnesota Wild stuff in their team shop, but as a whole, they've converted to Frozen Four mode before the NHL playoffs come here, probably next weekend. The Wild will be playing a series against the Winnipeg Jets in the first round of the NHL playoffs. As play continues, Notre Dame won the draw. They get it down into the offensive zone, but no opportunities yet as it just kind of rims around Dawson. Cook goes in after it with this third line out there. Cook battling alongside Jack Jenkins, and now it spins around the boards. Looks like Cook broke his stick as he went to the box, but now the puck comes free and an opportunity. A shot is blocked, poked out to the point. Notre Dame going to try to set something up. Toe dragging. Oh, and an opportunity just missed. And it gets poked out and held by Notre Dame. And now an opportunity. Here comes Duluth. Take away. Pass over to the middle. Krieger had a chance in on net. Not happening. And now here comes Notre Dame the other way. They've got a 4-on-2 developing. Coming right in on net. Skating through the crease and falling down. Unable to go back to the forehand and bury it there. Notre Dame, now another giveaway. They've got a pass to the middle, tried to center it, and it got taken away by Duluth, and the puck goes back into the neutral zone. Man, just fast action after fast action coming for these two squads as the puck goes just bounces in. Morris has to cover it. 1:17 remaining in the second period. 2-1 Duluth on top. Shots 26-15. But again, a lot of good opportunities coming for the Irish. We get a replay of that 4-on-2 chance. And unlike some earlier times that we've seen guys just try to pass it, that time it was Colin Tyson who said, "I'm doing it myself." drove hard to the net and got undercut, couldn't put it in.
Well, as my dad says, hockey, the fastest sport there is.
Yep.
And no doubt about that, some great action and intensity in the last couple minutes of the second period.
1:17 remaining, and the draw is won by Duluth. Back to the point. Anderson's shot might have gotten a piece of a Notre Dame body as it goes over along the left wing boards. Evans is being harassed. He holds up his arms as if to say that he wants a penalty coming, but nothing is called in really a penalty-infested second period. Puck gets lifted up into the neutral zone. Dylan Sandberg puts it down. A big hit applied at center ice. Now here comes Duluth the other way, and that shot is blocked. Sacrificing the body, Notre Dame. They are laying it all on the line. There's no other game. This is it for the national championship. 40 seconds remaining in the second period. The Let's Go Bulldogs chant sounding as Jake Evans, the senior captain, skates through, but now a giveaway. And up comes Duluth into the offensive zone. Pass to the middle. Anderson shooting in. A rebound try, and the puck comes free. Now it's over into the middle. Anderson, another try, loose in front. Morris had an opportunity, makes the save. Woo! Duluth now really pressing hard, trying to get another late goal on Notre Dame to crush them. The Irish now just trying to get to the locker room. 10 seconds remaining here in the second period. 2-1. Duluth over Notre Dame. Sandberg skates in with it. 3 seconds, 2. He loses the puck. A firm check applied, and the horn sounds. And with that, we enter the third period coming up. Second intermission starts right now. The Irish cut the lead in half to 2-1, which is what they said that we said they had to do here in this period. Your reaction?
Well, the first period was more cereal than marshmallows for the Leprechauns, but doing a much better job getting back to the way they want to play in the second period. And as I mentioned, if Minnesota-Duluth commits a penalty, that was going to be Notre Dame's chance to strike, and Notre Dame did take that opportunity. The Leprechauns dancing a lot more in that period. They're going to have to dig deeper in the third period. And for the Bulldogs, you know, great first period, really carried them. It's going to be interesting to see if their record carries. What is it now? I believe it is
53-0-3.
Yeah. Well, since 2005, 55-0-3 when leading after the second.
Yeah.
So in the position that they would like to be in right now, we'll see which coach can make the right adjustments. But
well, in many ways, this really resembles, I just realized this kind of resembles the Ohio State game. You know, even though they did blitz Notre Dame out of the gate, they did take a 2-0 lead, and now it's been cut a little more even. So in some ways, this does resemble. It's a 2-1 lead. That was the score they won by on Thursday. But the difference is Ohio State never really dominated the way Notre Dame had started to there at the end of the second period.
No, and Notre Dame, a much tougher task for the Bulldogs. You know, Notre Dame obviously showing their dominance in the Big Ten with the tournament and regular season championships. They're giving the Bulldogs all they can handle and really testing them with the physicality, something that Ohio State wasn't really able to impose over the Bulldogs. Notre Dame really giving some powerful checks and making Duluth feel their presence might have been a big deterrent in the second period for the tempo that we saw in the first.
I will say something that has intrigued me about this so far is the chances that Notre Dame is taking, being a little bit more aggressive. They're a team that likes to slow it down and play more conservative hockey, but they were really aggressive there. And yes, they were surrendering some chances to Duluth, but they're trusting their netminder, Cale Morris, trusting that he'll make the save if they do surrender at odd man rush. And with it, they are really speeding things up and attacking. And that's a change of pace, which I think is a little bit interesting. We saw a faster game that was actually being won by Notre Dame. They're changing their gears to try to find a championship will.
Yeah, Cale Morris really settled in the second period, which was great to see because he's such a big part of what Notre Dame does. Doing a great job making some tough saves. Hunter Shepard also making some tough saves.
Yep.
So really what we expected more so out of the goalies. The offenses have to work for everything, and it's going to take more of offensive execution in the third period if Duluth would like to extend their lead or if Notre Dame would love to tie it or potentially win this thing.
Yeah. It is going to be one heck of a third period. And it's going to be the last period of the college hockey season, unless we get overtime, which I said to you early on that I thought there could be overtime.
You did say that.
We'll see.
I mean, these two teams, I think, are pretty evenly matched, really showing that, other than in the scoreboard right now, the 2-1 lead for Duluth. But you're right, and I think the fatigue might also be something to keep an eye on. Who can counter the fatigue with a mental toughness to continue the intensity that got them to this point? Yep. Who has more left in the tank? Both these teams playing about as intensive hockey as could be played, especially to close that period. And who's got more left, both mentally and physically, to finish this up and lift up a trophy?
Well, we talked about on Thursday that the college hockey season is the longest season of any college sport, starting first week of October, and really they play exhibition games in September. And now they're finishing up the first/second week of April. It goes on and on, a 6-month season plus. No other college sport is anything like that. Basketball is the closest, and even that is more condensed than this. So it's all about pacing yourself, and these teams end up playing what amounts to about a half an NHL season, about 40, 41 games if you reach the Frozen Four. So it's about finding, that another level to dig even deeper than you ever have before, and it's something we've seen a lot from Notre Dame so far. Duluth's been playing ahead a bit more, but they're going to have to grind this one out harder than they ever have before if they want to make up what happened last year and finally avenge it.
And that length of the season, that fatigue might not even show up as far as skating speed or whatnot goes, but it might show up with which team makes the mistake.
Yep.
Which team makes the penalty that shouldn't be made, or fails to stick with someone in transition, fails to get a stick on a puck. That kind of mistake, just that small mental lapse that could have such big consequences. That's where we could see this come back to bite one of these teams in the third period.
Well, we've got some recognitions going on the Jumbotron, showing Scott Perunovich and Cal Morris getting recognized for their successes this season, along with a number of other players. We've got some cheers as we've seen a few other players not affiliated with these two teams getting recognized.
It's the All-Americans.
The All-Americans. Cale Morris got mentioned. Scott Perunovich got mentioned. But we also saw St. Cloud State had one player. Minnesota State had one player. A few local fans coming on down to watch.
I think that was the second team. Yeah.
I will say that this has been a really fun event. And we hope that Michigan is back here next year. We're going to have a good squad. Won't be in this location, but it'll be in Buffalo. And hopefully we can make the trek for that Frozen Four next year. And then the year after that, it's in Detroit. So one way or another, hoping to make a few of these more. It's a lot of fun. Tickets aren't nearly as expensive for the Final Four, but there's a lot to do, and you get to see a unique city.
Unique experience for sure. It's been a great trip to the Twin Cities for us.
Yep.
Great opportunity for some travel to another part of the Midwest. And I've really enjoyed the trip as well. My first opportunity to call some hockey games, and I love the Twin Cities.
Twin Cities have been very nice. My first time up here to the state of Minnesota. So it's been a fun ride, a good trip. This will be the first time that WCBN Sports has called a national title game.
Wow, how about that? How about that?
I was hoping that we would get to make the Michigan call, but if not, it'll be somebody else. So that'll be a lot of fun as we get down to the ending. It'll be one heck of an ending.
Well, I mean, Michigan next season definitely has a lot to look forward to. A tough loss the other night to Notre Dame, who earned the right to be in this game without a doubt. But Michigan, a lot of young pieces likely to return for that team. One of the youngest teams in college hockey. Lots to look forward to for Wolverine fans.
We did a lot of sorrowful season preview of next year in the aftermath of that game. I imagine we'll do a little bit as we wrap up the broadcast, close WCBN Sports' 2017-2018 hockey coverage. But it's been a lot of fun. done a lot of games this year for the hockey team, but it all ends tonight, national championship game. And these are the two teams that are no doubt the most deserving to be here.
Yeah, it's kind of that tough spot in the year where college sports almost end except for baseball and softball.
Yep.
They're all just about over.
The Michigan softball team will continue to be covered here on WCBN Sports, as will the baseball team. Baseball, I believe, won a doubleheader today. Is that right?
I think so.
That's now a ton of wins in a row for them. Michigan softball has been on a tear for quite some time. And should the Wolverines host a regional or a super regional, we would be covering those games. So a lot to look forward to, as there's not a whole lot of time left in the school year. Some folks have about a month left. We only have less than 2 weeks really now.
No, man. The end is in sight. We just got to keep our foot on the gas, much like these players do, and take care of our academic obligations.
Yeah. Nearing the end.
Yeah, they also moved us from our spot from Thursday night here in the booth.
It's a little bit warmer up here.
Slightly warmer. We both have our winter jackets on inside.
I wasn't taking any chances.
I was not either. Also got leggings on and a long sleeve shirt underneath. I was freezing the other night and still pretty cold in here today.
Yeah, they really embraced the Frozen 4 thing. they went all in on that.
Hey, that's the only way to go. All or nothing.
Yep.
In fact, All or Nothing, the new Michigan
oh, yes, the
football.
Michigan football documentary. We have binge-watched 6 episodes in the last 24 hours.
Yes, we have.
Almost 10. We only have 2 left.
Yeah, it's like going to be the most depressing 2 with Wisconsin, Ohio State, and South Carolina losses.
Huh. I think they are really well done, though.
They are. I think what I like is that they show the players as more than just players. You know, the coaches more than just coaches. They show them as like the people they are, and I think that's something that we forget a lot of the times is that like these are college kids that you and I are college kids, right? They have the same everyday problems that we have, and they also have to play football in front of 110,000 people every Saturday.
Yep, with a lot of stress.
That's been my favorite part of the documentary, is just seeing how they operate and hearing some of Coach Harbaugh's stories as well.
Definitely seeing the interactions between the players and their parents. It's been interesting to watch. There was that really powerful conversation between Rashawn Gary and his mother at the Red Lobster, which it seemed like she ordered orange juice at Red Lobster. I would need more confirmation on that, but that was jarring.
I don't think that's what it was.
I don't think that's what
cocktail
or something. I don't know. That was weird, but it was otherwise a really good scene. And we saw Tariq Black, his mother, upset after the injury. It'll be good to see him back on the field in the fall. Jonathan People-Jones' mother. It's just been good to see interactions with the parents. Brandon Peters' parents have been featured. John O'Korn's parents have been featured.
Well, and like Karan Higdon, I mean, like he is a father, you know.
Yep. So that was interesting to see. I didn't realize how many of these athletes have family who have kind of like moved into the area to follow them.
I didn't realize that either. Yeah.
They are around so much of the year, though. Yep. Because I mean, the spring game is this Saturday or a week from today, really. And then, the practices, and then full camp starts in July, I believe.
Well, but yeah, beginning of August, really. Yeah. So.
Jim Harbaugh getting lost in South Quad is kind of funny. Especially because he said he lived in South Quad.
That's where he used to live, yeah. So, Notre Dame, Duluth here. What are some things that you expect to see out of both these teams?
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see if Duluth is able to salt the time away by being aggressive the way they were with Ohio State. They really kept the foot on the gas repeatedly in the third period against OSU. Whereas here in this contest, I'm not sure that is going to be the case. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do that. So that'll be interesting to watch. Notre Dame is going to try to stay aggressive, I think. But how willing are they going to be to take chances? Because they're going to try to press to get that goal. But if you get your defenseman up in the play, you create the opportunity for a breakaway or a 2-on-1, which they don't come up with. But this is the time to put the foot on the gas, and against a team that closes as well as Duluth does, you have to go all out. And Duluth can't turtle. They can't just stay back at home. That's what Notre Dame basically did against Michigan. They gave up a game-tying goal. So just to see how these teams approach this third period will be interesting to watch.
It's a good point there. I think that, Minnesota-Duluth, ideally, they keep the clock running.
Yep.
They do not need stoppages of play. It's what Notre Dame, I think, really takes to that choppy style where it's play for a little bit, stoppage, play for a little bit, stoppage. I think Duluth really likes to keep things flowing and just get skaters up and down the ice. I think that's where they really excel. For Notre Dame, it's just going to be getting their guys involved. Jake Evans, I think we'll see a goal out of him. If Notre Dame wins, it'll come from him.
Well, we are now just 4:15 remaining from the final period, the last installment in a long season, unless overtime comes.
And one thing is that Duluth having the crowd behind them, that could really help them kind of find that second breath when they're tired, knowing that they have this home state to play for.
The enthusiasm behind them.
Show some of the second period highlights. Great goal work from both goalies. Really, Notre Dame did get that one in, but the goalies really played at a high level in that second period.
And a big rebound from Cale Morris. He's played a lot better after a really rocky first period where he made some bad mistakes.
But really the key is if Notre Dame's able to get a power play opportunity again, you really have to like their chances to at least tie this game. I think that's where they've just been the most deadly in this these last couple games, is just taking advantage. They're a team that takes advantage of your mistakes, right? They might not create the opportunity themselves necessarily, but they're going to wait for you to make the mistake, and that comes when you commit a penalty. Duluth able to kill a couple of them off, but Notre Dame eventually pulling through. And if Duluth gives them opportunities with the extra man consistently, then Notre Dame is going to find a way to break even at least.
Well, just over 2 minutes remaining. The referees will be coming back out onto the ice, followed by the players. It would be interesting on the topic of that All or Nothing documentary just to get to step inside and see what Scott Sandelin and Jeff Jackson are saying to their players. Because this is when you make the final tune-ups, when you give them the last bit of wisdom you can, as the referees are now, in fact, coming back out onto the ice.
The last time that either of these teams could be in the locker room
all together
before the conclusion of this season.
Shots 28-15 in favor of Duluth, but they were up by quite a bit in the shot total even before Notre Dame started to press, and they didn't really even it a lot in the shot department. They haven't been quite as good at just firing it on net, but the chances and the quality of them have been in Notre Dame's favor in the last 5 or so minutes.
Duluth does a great job at blocking shots with their bodies. Hunter Shepard doesn't typically face too many shots, but you got to credit the Duluth defenders for getting in the way of the pucks. And, this freshman class, they do a great job of doing that. A lot of blocks between themselves, as well as making an impact in the point department.
Well, as the players come back out on the ice, it will be interesting to see how the first 3 or 4 minutes go. Because remember, Notre Dame came out in the third period against Michigan and got that goal really early.
Yes.
Really early in the third period, and then they just kind of, readjusted and playing.
They tried to make Michigan come beat them,
Yep.
and Michigan was able to tie it up, but Notre Dame able to get that last goal at the end. But you're right, it'll be interesting to see who's able to strike first in this third period. Duluth not necessarily needing to strike, but we'll see who can get the job done. And will it be the Bulldogs fetching the national championship, or will it be the Irish finding the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow here in St. Paul?
Here it is.
The road ends here.
Third period of action. 20 minutes on the clock. 2-1. Duluth over Notre Dame. This is where heroes are made. Goats are, I don't know. Born, sure. Going into that face-off circle. Jake Evans and Peter Krieger, and we are off. Duluth wins the draw and proceeds to immediately dump it down. Morris hands it off behind himself to his defenseman. Duluth meets it in the neutral zone and immediately chips it back. They're really dumping and chasing early on these first couple plays to begin the third period. Evans and Morrison along the left boards up against Baronovich and Joey Anderson. And now that long stretch pass and again goes wide. This is what we're seeing so far. Dump and chase. Trying to use the speed for Duluth, except they're not really doing a lot of the chasing. Just kind of coming up and chipping it in. As the first changes of the third period are executed. And there you go. Bouncing it off the boards and letting the Bulldogs go in after it. Whoa! And that one came over from the corner right out in front of the net, bouncing off the side of the cage. And now come the Irish back down the other way. In the corner, Duluth digging it out, along with the Irish trying to find a way to get it free. And now Notre Dame does indeed get it free for a split second. Now it comes out into the center and immediately under the stick of the Bulldogs. Here they come the other way, chipped on down, bouncing off the end boards. And now going all the way back down for an icing.
Yeah, I mean, Duluth sticking with their strategy of dump and chase, but already you see not quite the same level of speed in the skates down the ice.
Face-off coming up between the third lines. Justin Richards and the second line, Ogilvie, back in the face-off circle after Cal Burke had been taking a lot of those. Duluth controls in the offensive end, looking for the big second goal to restore the third goal to restore the 2-goal lead. Into the corner, Blake Young and Justin Richards, along with Andrew Ogilvie and Dylan Malmquist down there, trying to find a way to get it free. Parker McKay comes up and tries to give some help. He's checked up against the boards by Jordan Gross, and now they get it out. Here come the Irish the other way. A potential 2-on-2 before a really strong back check by the Bulldogs. And it goes back down behind Shepard, where team in the maroon sweaters will just try to set up and get ready to bring it. Coming back down, pass over to the center. Here comes Duluth to the middle. A shot goes high and over top. Krieger and Anderson, Tufte out there, the first line. Here comes Notre Dame. That long stretch pass up goes between the legs of O'Leary all the way back down for an icing. So the faceoff will come into the Notre Dame end. So a good, strong start for Duluth.
Each team really feeling each other out in this third period, just trying to see how they're going to approach this final attack. A lot of time left, and we're just seeing just some weak runs, I think, at each other. Nothing too intense quite yet. Both teams just trying to decide how they might want to attack these last couple minutes.
17-22 remaining in the game. 2-1 Duluth on top. The Irish win the faceoff in their own zone, and Dawson Cook tries to get it out. Giveaway, and here's a quick shot. Oh, and a nice glove save Nick Swaney took it away from Cook, skated right in and let a ripper go, but into the glove of Cale Morris, who has really settled in since those couple bad mistakes early on.
Cale Morris flashing the leather, giving his team what they need if they do want to compete for a national championship.
He's been a strong point of their squad all year long. Now it comes out into the middle, and here come the Irish the other way. 2-on-2 rush as they try to bring it on out. Cam Morrison is met quickly, though, by the suffocating Duluth blue line that has tightened up a bit. Sandberg leads the rush the other way, and a quick shot in on Morris. He hauls it in. That's shot number 30 now for Duluth to just 15 for the Irish. But it's not the quality or the quantity of shots, it's the quality of shots. And so far, the better looks, I think, it's fair to say, have been coming from the Irish overall. None of these have been great looks for Duluth, but they're controlling play enough to keep it in that end, and that's what is going to help the minutes run off the clock. Face-off coming. Peter Krieger up against Ogilvie, and it is dug out by Tufte. He gets it out to the point. Shot is blocked. Oh, and it skips in on Morris, and it goes up into the air behind the net, off the netting, and out of play.
It's one of those nightmare ricochets that almost could have caused problems for Notre Dame. No goalie ever wants to see the puck take an unorthodox bounce quite like that off some of the players themselves. Fortunate for Cale Morris and Notre Dame to get out of that one unharmed.
Well, I do think that it is the, one of the ways to beat Cale Morris is rebounds and chances in front. That's something Michigan had. Remember, Dexter Danks just threw it in on net. It bounced in against Morris. And then the game-tying goal was Mike Pastuov and his line just down there, gritting away, battling, and a rebound came out, and he buried it. So if Duluth wants this goal, they might need to get in front and throw things at him, see where the rebounds come as the draw is one out of the Notre Dame end into the neutral zone. Duluth does that same chip. And now joining the rush is Dennis Gilbert, something we haven't seen a ton of. It's held in at the point by Ogilvie. He sends it around into the corner, looking to connect with his defenseman, Gilbert. Now it goes off the boards. Duluth trying to find a way to get it out, but a bad giveaway. Ogilvie cuts into the middle, pass to the slot, and a shot. Oh, and it just goes high and wide of Hunter Shepard. Goes over to the top. Dennis Gilbert plays it along the sides, and then it's picked out, trying to clear it. They do indeed get it past Gilbert, but right in the neutral zone immediately taken away, and a pass up Gross. And it's then just coming right up to it and chipped out by the Bulldogs. That is their strategy right now, is just chipping and dumping. And it goes all the way down, though, for an icing. So the faceoff coming in the offensive zone. The Irish, they can win it, create an opportunity here.
Appears that Duluth is content, relying on their defense to take care of this lead. Don't seem too hard-pressed to be going after another goal. They'll take it if it's there, but they are not quite chomping at the bone like we saw at times yesterday.
Mike O'Leary's third line is out there. He's and Bo Brower, who we have really not seen a whole lot of in this game. Notre Dame has really been playing three lines, tightening up and short shifting. But now a takeaway in the neutral zone, bounces off the boards, picked up there in the defensive end. Gross sends it across to Nardella. Along the boards, getting pushed down hard was Jenkins. I guess interesting alignment now in the way that Jeff Jackson is rolling with his lines. Now a takeaway behind in the Notre Dame end. An opportunity to shot in on net. Oh, Parker McKay right out in front, trying to tip it in before Notre Dame can clear it out. Anderson in the neutral zone. He does that same dump. This is what Duluth is doing. This is their strategy to try to salt away a championship, is just playing up, chipping, and staying back. We'll see if Notre Dame can get some really crisp zone entries as they try to create opportunities. The Let's Go Bulldogs, Let's Go Irish chants raining down from the XL Energy Center crowd Here come the Irish in the other way, but we got an offsides call. 14:43 remaining. Our under 15 timeout is here. So shots 31-15 in favor of Duluth. They still cling to a 1-goal lead.
The crowd really getting into it, and Cale Morris is going to hear those Bulldog chants in his ears the rest of the game. I think that the major contingency of Bulldog fans is kind of towards this end where we are, which is also the end where Cale Morris is. Seems like that's where the cheers are at least originating from before they echo through the rest of XL Center.
As the crowd that had left for the intermission have now come back in, and we are back to basically full capacity. This is about what it will probably look like with a lot more green when the Wild host the Winnipeg Jets in the playoffs. Coming up here next week, the Jets, a big surprise story featuring some of college hockey's best players, including a pair of Michigan Wolverines, Jacob Trouba, defenseman Kyle Connor, and forward. Their rebuild has been successful, and there's winning hockey back in Manitoba. They will be squaring off with the Wild. First 2 games probably the end of this week, and then Game 3 will be back here at the XL Energy Center for the home fans to watch. We heard murmurs among the event staff here who have to work this along with the normal Wild games, talking about getting ready for the playoffs, get this building ready.
Yeah, the most important hockey of the year is here.
Coming down to the end.
For everybody.
And we do have to salute the good people at the XL Energy Center doing a great job transforming this. They had to hang the men's Frozen Four banners out front of the stadium along the sides of the rink in here. They have to put all that paint down on the rink and transform this into a college hockey venue. Change the banners in the rafters. So they've done a great job getting ready for this. And hopefully it'll be rewarded with an exciting finish as both teams are ready for the action. The draw won by Notre Dame. Let's see if they can get something going offensively. It gets tipped up into the defensive end. Now here's a giveaway. Notre Dame's got an opportunity, but Morrison just tried to feebly play it into the middle. Not exactly what I think they were looking for, but now skating in and just offsides, Colin Tyson.
Yeah, Duluth does a great job. We saw that against Ohio State, at just disrupting the offensive stick. You know, their defenders are great at just getting their stick in and disrupting the puck. It's something that is a big difference maker for one-on-one defense.
Yeah, getting sticks in the way. They were really good about that against Ohio State, disrupting those OSU passing lanes. They've been pretty strong with it tonight. They've had some misses, though, on the penalty kill. And that'll be something to watch. Do any more penalties get called? Does that become a factor as Notre Dame brings it up into the offensive end, trying to press for the game-tying goal? Pass over into the center, and Duluth controls backhand cut by Kuhlman, the captain. Setting things back up. The Let's Go Bulldogs chant sound. Gross plays it off the boards. Tipped there for a second, going all the way back down. And it goes out in front. Whoa, and a quick little opportunity. Cal Burke lined up a big shot, fanned on it, and the puck just bounced out in front of Shepard. He puts the trapper on it. 13:43 remaining in period number 3.
The game flow starting a little bit more choppy. Notre Dame starting to get some face-offs towards the Duluth offensive zone as well.
Scott Perunovich leading his team, the defensive pairings that have been so strong for the Duluth Bulldogs. They need to lock this thing down and bring home a second title to the Great Northern. Oh, here's a bad giveaway by Notre Dame. Luckily for them, though, it was offsides. Duluth, though, would have had a great chance if they had been able to get back. So they had to kind of step back, recalibrate, allow Notre Dame to get back on set up. And here come the Irish the other way, back into the Bulldog end. Played along the boards, and now a nice chip out. There we go. That is what continues to happen. The moment Duluth gets the puck, they are chipping it down the other way. The plus is that you try to stifle the rush. The downside is you're not taking any chances, not trying to get that extra goal, and that was something that was could have ended up losing Notre Dame the game if they had dropped it in overtime to Michigan. They did pull it out, though. But for a while, they were very conservative in that one on Thursday night, and Duluth being very conservative here. And skating all the way coast to coast with it. A quick shot, high and rising by Hellickson. That was, again, defenseman getting in on the rush, something that doesn't happen a ton outside of Jordan Gross. And now here's a giveaway into the middle. The Irish have an opportunity. A shot in on Shepard and gets bounced down into the corner. And Duluth is going to bring it out. They get it across center ice, and they allow themselves to change. Uh-oh, look at this. A chance in front. They go hard in on Morris, and the whistle is blown as just crashing right into the net was Dylan Sandberg and dislodging it.
Duluth really being patient with any offensive opportunity they have, understanding the energy that they're exerting. They're trying to funnel that towards the defensive side, make Notre Dame work even harder for a potential tying goal. This run, they saw an opportunity and they went with it. Unable to convert, but they're going to be selective, I think, with the offensive efforts that they make.
Yeah, that was a good try, but it was really just out of more of this dump and change philosophy. That was just a forecheck, two guys trying to give the rest of their team an opportunity to get off. So out of the draw, Notre Dame wins it, and they bring it right back down to the offensive zone, but they're still looking for a really good chance. Oh, there's one to the middle. Puck comes free. They do hold it in on sides, and the shot goes just wide, bounces high off the board, and another try short side. Shepard can't corral it, and they tried to play it to the point. Not a smart decision. Duluth is right there. Now a 2-on-2 rush, and a nice defensive play. Undercut it and keep this game at 2-1, but right to it very quickly. Duluth now with a bit of a more lively forecheck. Jared Thomas leading the way, and he's grinding down there, trying to create something. And up comes Notre Dame the other way. As the Let's Go Bulldogs chant continue, as just one Duluth player continues to try to lead this forecheck. That time it was number 25, Peter Krieger. He stays in there, though. A successful forecheck before now the puck goes past the defenseman and roll, and it goes all the way down. Chasing in after it is Colin Tyson. It bounces around, and the Bulldogs just do clear it out. Up they come the other way, and goes off the boards. Now up an opportunity, falling down to the ice, trying to dig it out. But here comes Notre Dame, and a shot that goes free in front of the net. But Duluth is swarming, stopping all of these good opportunities, good looks perhaps. Now held in at the point, though. Pinching up Dennis Gilbert, and now we got a whistle. I think maybe a hand pass perhaps, or played with the high stick. We'll have to see where the faceoff is coming. It's going to come outside the zone. 10:36 remaining. Time is a-ticking for Notre Dame.
Yeah, and I mean, Duluth, it seems like that's really just what they want, is to keep the clock ticking. About halfway through this third period, and Notre Dame really hasn't gotten that chance that you say, man, that could have tied the game.
Duluth looking a lot stronger than they did towards the end of that second period. They have made some necessary adjustments, but all it takes is one chance. Nice play there by Hellickson up to O'Leary, and the neutral zone off the draw. Goes into the corner. Perunovic is muscled off, and now a takeaway. Notre Dame a chance throwing it in on net. He gets blocked before it ever got close. But now at the point, held in, they throw it along the boards before it goes all the way back down low. Nick Wolf picks it up. He throws it off boards into the neutral zone, and once again, this kind of chip and change. Oh, and a long stretch pass. An opportunity for a split second there. Try to make something happen. Dylan Malmquist. They're looking for that, an ability to exploit the changes, because that is really the smartest strategy at this current moment. We have an icing called on Duluth. You know, when they chip and change, when there is that change, guys are going on, guys are going off. It opens up a hole in the middle, and Notre Dame trying to exploit that, but just not there yet. 9:44 remaining. The icing is not enough to give us the under 10 commercial timeout. Shots 32-17 in favor of Minnesota-Duluth.
Yeah, the Bulldogs really trying to grind it out now. Less than halfway.
Cale Burke unable to win the draw. And They also, though, can't quite clear it out before they finally do. It was held at the point for a split second. Jordan Gross, a nice pass over to Ogilvie. Here comes a chance in onside the shot. Nice save by Hunter Shepard right into the gloves. A little bit of pushing and shoving at 9:27 remaining. We have the under 10 timeout. Notre Dame still trailing 2-1.
Hunter Shepard is not going to make it easy on Notre Dame. That's the advantage of having such a talented goalie along with such a stifling defense. And you've really seen the focus for Duluth be on the defensive end. They are really blocking a lot of shots with their bodies. Notre Dame is still trying to generate that signature opportunity where they can tie this game.
Trying to find that big chance. The fans anxious on the edge of their seats. There's nothing like trying to close out a championship. Get you nervous. Duluth crowd anxious. And for Notre Dame, obviously, hoping that their magical season one where they felt like they were going to win the national title wire to wire, trying not to see it fall in shambles on the XL Energy Center ice. But they're going to need to score at least once here in the next 9 minutes and 27 seconds to give us extra time. If not, it'll be all she wrote.
This is where Notre Dame, perhaps their greatest advantage over everybody else in college hockey, is some of the experience that they do possess. Guys like Jake Evans really need to come alive here at the end of this game if the Irish want a chance.
Evans had 2 against Michigan, including the game winner. They need him to come up big one more time. Or somebody to step up. Sometimes it's the most unlikely sources, but other times you need your leaders. They'll take it from anywhere as the t-shirt parachutes come on down. I'm still amazed at how many they're sending down.
They are really throwing them down there, man. Like
just raining t-shirts.
It's like the snowstorms that have been coming through here despite it being April.
Yep.
The NCAA definitely has to promote their corporate sponsors.
Bands continue to sound. Notre Dame's band trying to pump up their guys. It'll be an offensive zone faceoff. We'll see if the Irish can win it. Try to create an opportunity. Interesting shakeup. Evans wins it, and a quick shot goes high and over top of Shepard. They're shaking up the lines a little bit. Malmquist, Ogilvie, and Evans are out there. Evans takes it away in the defensive end, and he just foolishly sends it on down for an icing, which will bring it all the way back in the Notre Dame end. So the Irish unable to create anything immediately.
Yeah, interesting time for a science experiment with a brand new line. But I guess they're just trying to get anybody out there that together can maybe create some opportunities. Dangerous guys all in one spot. We really have to guard everyone on the ice.
Short shifting a little bit.
Yep.
Making sure you want the best guys out there. Jake Evans is going to take the draw, and he wins it. Oh, boy. There was a great breakout opportunity for 2 Irish to start a rush, but a great stick and a step up by Duluth, and they hold it in, just trying to kill time. Kuhlman over in the corner. Jared Thomas. Now here's Kuhlman. He picks it up. A wraparound opportunity. Puts it in front. The puck is loose. The Irish pick it up. Now they've got an odd man rush. 3-on-2 coming the other way. Nardella pass across. Not sure that was the right one. A little chance in front. Whoa, and the tip in goes high and over top. That was a pretty good look as it goes down behind. The Irish are unable to create another opportunity, and they need to really get off, but Duluth is going to start a rush and allow themselves to get off. Skating down low, but falling down to his knees was Nick Swaney as it gets sent around the boards over into the corner. Skating there with it. Stopping, waiting, digging it out. Jordan Gross puts it off the referee. And then Jake Evans has got it along the boards. He's tired. 8:13 remaining. Time is a-ticking. Ogilvie's got it behind the net. He stops on a dime. Looks to try to find a breakout, but Irish really playing slowly right now.
They look tired.
Yep.
They really look tired.
Gross to Nardella, who just flips it up in the air, gets knocked down at the blue line, goes over into the offensive end, but for a split play with the lead. And they are really playing confident right now, limiting opportunities, limiting chances. We have to see how aggressive Notre Dame is going to get. How much do they want it? Blake Young in the corner. He gets checked hard. Played off the boards there for a second. Now they get out. Pass up. Here Notre Dame the other way. They on the board. A chance. Falling down for a second, just kind of towards his knees was O'Leary. Now comes out. Here comes Duluth. They're just going to break it right out, get across center, and chip it on deep. Allow their guys to get off as Morris plays it over. Blake Young is the one forechecking for Duluth primarily. Notre Dame brings it on out. They're going to try to get an effective breakout, but unable to really do so, and there's another takeaway. Blake Young skates right back in it, and that's going to kill off more time. 7 minutes remaining. He skates around with it, turns, waits, gives it on over. Getting pushed down. Dennis Gilbert just shoved Jared Thomas, but no call coming. 6:48 remaining. Gilbert's got it. He plays it off the boards. And held down there below. The crowd really getting into it.
One final push.
6:32 remaining. Banks it off the boards to the Irish, trying to create something, but immediately Duluth, they're playing Notre Dame's game, getting right to it and just chipping it out. 6:20 remaining. The Let's Go Bulldogs chants are sounding. The puck comes free in the offensive zone for the Irish. A takeaway. Pass over to the middle. Waiting Morris, and he turns. He shoots. It's loose in front. Trying to find it. Where is it? It's in front of the net. And just on the ice, the puck is loose. A scramble in front. Shepard loose. And he puts the trapper down. Is it still loose? I don't know where it is. And now the whistle finally sounds. 5:57 for about 20 seconds. The puck was free in front of Shepard, with about 5 or 6 guys just laying there.
Yeah, about five guys getting their jerseys wet on the ice. I mean, man, what a scrum for the puck. But, I mean, Notre Dame just exhausted, it looks like. It looks like the Duluth strategy earlier in this period to just kind of dump it down and make Notre Dame continuously go chase it and bring it back and try and work on the offensive end is really just exhausted the Fighting Irish right now. They're going to have to find that second breath.
Well, every ounce of energy needs to be given out here. This is it. No game tomorrow, no game the next day, not another one until about 6 months. Skating over to the middle, getting shoved down was Riley Tufte. Here come the Irish the other way, but a nice little discreet check by Peter Krieger to slow down any Irish rush. 5:40 remaining. Time is not in their favor. A 2-1 game. 5:30 left. Here coming right into the zone. Oh, and a nice hard check there applied as the Irish will bring it out the other way. Ogilvie lays it behind himself. Pass over into the middle. And now Malmquist. Oh, boy. That pass for Ogilvie. He had him. They bounced off of it back into the neutral zone. Here they come. Hellickson. Uh-oh, that shot was blocked. And now skating on in with it. And just firing it on that. Oh, and a chance. But skating right in and crashing into the net. Down in front was Duluth. One of their few good opportunities. Number 19, Justin Richards, was the one crashing in hard on Cale Morris. 5:04 remaining, 2-1.
The right idea, sending the puck towards the back post. Trying to get a rebound opportunity. Duluth still keeping the pressure on when there's an opportunity to do so, making Notre Dame continue to work.
The third line of O'Leary is out there. They have lose the draw and allow Duluth to chip it on in. And the Let's Go Bulldogs, Let's Go Irish chants again are really getting loud. A full capacity XL Energy Center here in St. Paul, Minnesota for the national championship game of men's ice hockey here on WCBN Sports. Duluth 2, Notre Dame 1. 4:30 remaining as Duluth just chips it on deep. Cycling it around, looking for an opportunity. Bobby Nardella up to Cam Morrison. Morrison to the middle. He's looking for Colin Tyson. Tyson goes, right around a defender. But he was offside. That is just a crucial mistake.
It's a killer for Notre Dame. Going to have to defend once again. One last timeout, media timeout at least, for them to catch their breath.
18,303, the official announced attendance up on the Jumbotron. And I will say I remember this kind of a feeling. 2009, the Detroit Red Wings, Game 7, the Stanley Cup Finals, all or nothing for a title. Trailed basically the entire second half of the game, down 2-1. And that feeling of when you're down and you're scrapping for that last goal, everything on the line, but it just doesn't come. And that sinking feeling that your season is slipping away, and there's nothing like it. Just painful. And that's what's going through the minds of the Irish fans. Their boys have got to find a way to dig deep.
Notre Dame needs to find one more way to generate a rebound or deflection to create a scoring opportunity for themselves. They're not out of it for sure. We saw that against Michigan. But time is of the essence. 4:21 to go here, and the crowd is not in their favor. Duluth seems to have the right idea on how to finish this game. It's going to come down to execution now.
And the Duluth Bulldogs win their second national championship, also their second in XL Energy Center. They beat Michigan Wolverines back in 2011 in overtime.
I believe they beat Notre Dame in the semifinal of that tournament as well here at XL Energy Center.
Crowd, the board trying to get them to pumped up, but hard to be loose and into it if you have a rooting interest here.
Hard to be. It's one of those that gets your heart pumping.
Yeah.
No matter who you are.
You know, you think about crunch time, last possession, last shot in a basketball game, or the 2-minute drill in football. This is very, very similar. The bottom of the ninth in a baseball game. Here we go. Both coaches still have their timeouts, so that could be a commercial stoppage. But otherwise, this is it. The last sprint in the college hockey season, unless Notre Dame can find a way to steal the trophy from the Puppies. Notre Dame wins the draw, and coming right across, Gross sends it in from center ice, and there's a pass over into the middle. Ooh, and an opportunity for a split second. And Duluth didn't know where the puck was, left it behind, did the Irish. Here's Nardella from the point. He shoots it in. Oh, and a big bounce wide to Shepard. There was an empty net, but no one there to find it. Here comes Duluth up the other way. A pass to the center. An opportunity to shot. Oh, and a great save. Cale Morris. Duluth with a chance to put the game away. After the Irish, again, we talked about being really aggressive and giving up a chance and a pass to the center, a great centering feed there, and then a shot right into the belly of Cale Morris.
Jeez, what a leak out, and then what a pass
it was
by Jared Thomas. Carson Coleman, great one-on-one with Cale Morris, but the goalie prevails.
Keeps the Irish in it a little bit longer. 3:54 to go. Up to the point. It cycles around, now down low, picked up there and pressed firmly against the boards. Trying to find a way to dig it out. They bounce it up. Ogilvie in the corner. He flips it up high to the sky. It bounces down. And again off the boards. Not clear where it is. Now it's found. It was right in front of the Notre Dame bench. Coming all the way out is Cale Morris to play it now into the center. Here comes Ogilvie. His pass to Malmquist, not quite there. And picking it off is Riley Tufte, the first-round pick of the Dallas Stars. Helps to chip it back down for the Duluth Bulldogs. 3:17 remaining. You got to think that Cale Morris is going to be pulled here pretty soon. Probably around the 2-minute mark. Duluth fans in this building, they can feel it. The puck is down in the corner. Like Parker McKay is the one forechecking, but two Bulldogs fall down to the ice. And here's an opportunity for Notre Dame. They bring it in past the line, but they are tired, and it gets blocked as they were trying to clear it on in. Grabbed down with the glove. That was a good play by Duluth to stifle the rush. Bounced off the boards, and now sent all the way back in by Duluth. Bounces off the end. Here they come. Now a takeaway, and neutral zone, a pass across. Coleman shot, and it gets a piece of Notre Dame stick up into the netting. 2:34 remaining. The face-off stays in the Notre Dame end. This crowd is deafening.
This crowd is barking. They can feel it.
Turning it up.
Yes.
Hear and roar.
They can feel it.
Everybody on their feet.
Bulldogs guarding this lead like a dog guarding his bone. You gotta love it.
A national championship to be played here at St. Paul. 2:34 left. And the draw, Jared Thomas is going to be kicked out. Pullman's going to take it to the right of Cale Morris in the offensive zone, and that's what Notre Dame needed. They win the draw. Jordan Gross tries to clear it on down, but it just gets popped up in the air. Notre Dame needs to create an extended offensive possession to allow an opportunity. Now here's a giveaway. Duluth into the middle, and the shot is blocked. 2:19. Notre Dame needs an extended offensive possession to allow Cale Morris to come out and get the extra attacker. Here they go, going to set it on up. Jake Evans and his line is leading the rush. Ogilvie comes in. They lay it behind. Jordan Gross swings it around the boards, down behind where it gets battled in the corner. Nick Wolf had it for a second, but they still not pulling Morris as Duluth pulls it right out of the zone. Skating on in with it, a shot short side on Morris. He puts it down to let clock keep going. Jordan Gross, he couldn't get it over though. And now Notre Dame continuing to hang on, passing across here. They come up the other way. 1:40 remaining. You got to think Morris is coming out soon. Jake Evans clears it on in. Dylan Malmquist goes in after it. There goes Cale Morris. That's going to be an icing. And getting down to touch it up. 1:28 to go. Welcome to the Jungle Sound.
Oh,
Hear
man.
roar.
Oh, the crowd is popping right now.
Notre Dame is selecting their guys from their bench. Who do they want out there? 6-on-5. Offensive zone face-off. 1:28 remaining. And now we're going to get a timeout from Scott Sandelin. That's a smart call.
Oh, man.
Duluth uses their timeout.
You can feel the tension in the air.
Bump it out. Either we're going to get overtime or we're going to get a national title for Minnesota-Duluth. Here we go. As soon as they come out of this timeout, if you're Duluth, you're telling them first and foremost, you got to win the draw. Got to win the draw.
That's the key. And, I mean, with an empty net there, it's always there if you can get the takeaway, but right now you just got to protect the goal at all costs.
Shots 35-20 now in favor of the Bulldogs. And they put the finishing touches on a national championship after coming up one game short a year ago. Or can Notre Dame keep the hope of the magical dream season alive? Saw them win 16 games consecutively and rocket up to number one. They would not want it to end in this fashion, but it just might. All that stands in the way, 88 seconds. Both teams breaking out of their benches. Everybody on their feet. 1:28 to go. Jake Evans, the senior, taking the draw against Jared Thomas, the second line from Duluth, forced to be out there. And the draw is won by Notre Dame, but not terribly cleanly. They send it on down behind. Now they rim it around. They've got to keep it in at the point. Nardella sends it back down into the corner. Cam Morris, it's loose in front of the net. Now it comes out. Trying to get it free. It's out to center ice. And Notre Dame reclaims it. 1:08 remaining. Bouncing it off the board. They tip it on in. Cam Morrison goes in after it. It's up along the boards and chipped out and down. 56 seconds left. Skating around with it. Holding it is Nardella. He flips it on just wide of Hunter Shepard. Duluth going to try to immediately clear, and they do. They get it out into the neutral zone. And it's loose out at center ice. Now and it's blocked. An opportunity for the icing goal by Joey Anderson. But it was blocked off the body of Jordan Gross, who does a nice little pass up to Ogilvie. 30 seconds left. This is where the Irish thrive in crunch time. Do they have a little bit of luck left? That one skips over a stick. We're going to put on 20 seconds remaining. Goes up along the boards. Passed over into the center. Here come the Irish. Nardella, pass over. Gross sends it on in. His shot gets deflected. 9 seconds left. They rim it around down. That's going to be an icing. Can Notre Dame get there in time? 2 seconds. 1, and it is an icing with 1.5 left.
This place is about ready to explode.
And just like we saw in the Michigan game, there's not a whole lot in it. Well, really, in the Ohio State game, remember, they added a little time left back on. All Notre Dame could do is win the draw and do a quick snapshot, which does happen occasionally. And Jeff Jackson has used his timeout. Luke, 1.5 seconds left from a national title.
Oh, man, this place is just ready to blow. No premature celebration for these fans, but they can taste it.
Enter Sandman, laying down from the rafters.
Salivating like a dog when he sees his bone.
The XL Energy Center.
They want it.
Both teams over at their benches. A couple of loser fans are exiting early.
That is a shame.
You can't miss this ending. Even if you are an Irish fan, you don't want to see it. It always hurts when you see your team lose and the other team celebrate.
Stick for the end.
Yeah. The bells ringing from the rafters. We'll turn it up before the face-off. Electric crowd. Evans into the face-off circle. If Duluth wins it, it's over. 2.1 on the clock. Evans to take the draw. Oh, and it's too early. Justin Richards, who was put in there to win the draw, he tried to jump it. Gets kicked out. The puck goes free, and it's in. The Minnesota-Duluth Bulldogs are the 2017-2018 national champions of college hockey. Let that crowd roar take it away. The Minnesota-Duluth Bulldogs have won the national championship for the second time in school history. And for that, the Irish dejected in their own end.
Wow.
Incredible season, and they just came up 1 goal short.
What a game, and the Bulldogs, it's a 2-0 lead. The fast start again that prevails. Wow.
The Irish emptying their bench. They got to do the handshake line, but
Rushing way for the Irish to lose.
all she wrote on the Notre Dame season. And this Duluth heavy crowd, very happy. All cheering, the Irish starting to file out. Trophy presentation. The red carpet has already been rolled out as the teams will begin shaking hands. And now, fans continuing to stand on their feet and salute. And Champ, the Bulldog.
We ran into him.
I gave Champ a high five. Always nice to meet your heroes. and he has come out onto the ice now and is joining his team and saluting this crowd. And now the handshake line, the best tradition in sports. hear that crowd roar.
Oh.
It was a great year for the Irish, but in the end, they come up short, and that's always the tough part. When you have a single elimination, one-game hockey tournament, it's so hard. Cale Morris shaking hands and watching as his year comes to a close, and a lot of players for both these teams now with an important decision to make. Do they stay or do they go? The NHL futures await.
It's a lot of respect for the Notre Dame players as well. You know how hard they fought to get here, the incredible season that they had, and the careers that they had.
Always like to see the endings. What a team. What a rally after getting bounced from the frozen face-off, barely making it in. They were a team that's as talented as just about anybody. They put it all together, and they won a national title.
It looks like all class from both sides.
Yep.
I think that they each deserve to respect each other for the effort that they put on the ice tonight.
Well, with that, we will begin to wrap it all up on another season of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan hockey, and in the case of this game, the national championship, since we were here anyway. And it's always great to interact with people in the chat on our YouTube videos. We had a lively chat the other night. And hockey is not always our highest listenership sport, but we did break all-time records for our station this weekend. Almost 500 views on our coverage of Michigan versus Notre Dame the other night. And as the crowd continues to salute Duluth, we salute you for tuning in this year following Michigan, and really a magical season it was for the Wolverines too. Rising from a team that had very few expectations in the first year of the new coach, a team that really just wasn't a good team in December. Tracked them all the way to St. Paul as they won the East Region, Northeast Regional in Worcester. And to finish up the year here was truly a joy. We had a lot of names, ball games this season, and we will have even more next year. I want to give a shout out to all those that call the hockey broadcast this year, and I'm continuing hockey coverage as the 2017-2018 school year wraps up. It was a year of a lot of records for our station, but especially just a lot of success. So all those that tuned in, thank you for that. Peter Monahan, Ian Leversaw, Alex Shee, Nick Mortenberg, Jeremy Parks, Teddy Gutkin, Max Cohen, and then obviously Lucas Vargas and myself having called games this year. So it was a lot of fun. We expect Michigan to be a national title contender next year. This year is putting Michigan hockey back on the map. Next year begins the Mel Pearson era, a return to the late 90s, mid-2000s, where the expectation every year is frozen for national title. So that will be a lot of fun. Hopefully we're back here in Buffalo. Hopefully we get some more Big Ten tournament games at Yost. That'll be a lot of fun to follow. And back with probably the exhibition game in September, and then the home opener whenever that may be. So with that, just about all she wrote.
It's a great trip, great experience, and I'm glad we came.
The 2017-2018 season of college hockey is over. The final score of this one, Minnesota-Duluth 2, Notre Dame 1. National champions of hockey, the Minnesota-Duluth Bulldogs. Second place goes to the Irish semifinalists, the Wolverines and the Buckeyes. The other 12 teams that competed, and the other 48 that weren't good enough to make it in. It was a great season all around. We look forward to another great one next year. And for that, it is the end of WCBN Sports' 2017-2018 college hockey coverage. It's been a great ride. An absolute pleasure joining us in the fall. We might just have a Michigan hockey podcast start up, so watch out for that. With that, from Lucas Vargas, I'm Alex Drain, saying good night and go blue from St. Paul.